Four recessions in the last 30 years have generated a total surplus of $14.3 trillion and are 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes, on top of paying over $100 billion per year in taxes on the state, local, and federal level.
Okay, yeah. I agree with that in a sense, because where I'm from, it's a lot of blue-collar work, and a lot of illegals do make up a lot of that work. But what would you say could be another way of getting illegal aliens with criminal records out of the country?
Well, so you're like, this is downstream of me saying that we should abolish ICE. So basically, what I think is that we should abolish ICE, but then replace ICE with something similar to it. Just without the lawless directives and with more training. Like, that's all that I'm saying. But I appreciate for the questions. I think I am gonna move on to the next guest at this point in time. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You take care. We're going to move on to the next guest, guys. We're going to move on to the next guest right now, folks. On the opposite side of that queue, if you happen to be a Trump supporter, please and thank you. Please and thank you. We're going to go to get the next guest loaded up into the queue right now. Also, there's somebody in my queue. I think you know exactly who you are. You should text me, bro. We should talk when I'm off. I'm actually down. I'm actually down. You know exactly who you are. I would like to maybe talk a little bit privately first, but I'm very open to that. Very open to that. You know exactly who you are. Welcome in, Timothy. Do you support Trump?
Hey, Dean. I just got done talking to you a little bit ago. And I was actually out working. Yeah, I was actually out doing something outside and actually doing a job, so I had to go do that. But I just come back just to chat with you a little bit more.
Yeah, you were saying that I'm a part of like the rich Hollywood elite.
No, I didn't think you were Hollywood. I just think I saw you on a program once.
What
but
program?
Anyway, I can't even remember what it was. It was just something that you look familiar in. But we all have doppelgangers, so.
Wait, I think that you did say I was a part of like the rich Hollywood elite, and I make all this money, and like I just don't understand what it's like to like live the life of the average American.
Right. Yes, I did. You make pretty good money on this. That's the good thing. That's what I was saying about capitalism, which is good.
Yeah. So much money. So much money. All the money in the world. My pockets are filled. My pockets are so filled with all the DNC money.
So, do you want to call out people? No, you can. I'll let you do that.
I actually do have a couple people to thank, but maybe while I'm like thanking a couple people, if you could like think of some good reasons why you support Trump, I'd really appreciate that. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Hey, Lynn, thank you so much for the money gun. Sounds good. First and foremost, Mr. Michael. Holy fuck. Thank you so much for the $100 over on PayPal. I appreciate you so much for that love, Michael. I want to see 1,000 big old Michael W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much, man. Show some love to Michael down below. Show some love to Michael down below. I really appreciate that, dude. Michael with $100, dude. I'm going to keep your message to myself, but just know that I appreciate you. Let's see 1,000, Michael W. Seriously, on a roll now. I do not deserve that much love. That is so much money, and I'm so grateful for you. That goes a very, very, very long way, my friend. As well as Aaliyah, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal, who says, I can't believe that child rape is not a good enough reason to stop supporting somebody, no matter how quote-unquote good of a president that person is. I'm too European for this. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go and assume that that's in reference to a conversation that we had earlier. That was fucking nuts. As well as Mariah, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal, who says, my name is Ryan on TikTok. Then I made a join. No worries, Raya. Thank you so much for the love and support. And then Local, thank you so much for the $7 on PayPal for the Hollywood Dean Cast Party Snacks. Appreciate you so much for that love. And then Caroline, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. He says, please use that last donation for my girlfriend's birthday gift. Oh, I will absolutely be doing that, Caroline. Thank you so much for that support. I'll probably be doing that with all the donations for a while. Yeah. And then Douglas, thank you for the $14 over on PayPal, who says, keep up the great work. Douglas, thank you so much for that support, bro. I love what I do. I'll never quit, and I appreciate you so much for supporting what we do, and I hope that you enjoy the stream. Quickly over on Venmo, Haley, thank you for the $15. He says, is it true that only conservative presidents have gotten us into wars? I think in modern American history, it is true. Thank you for the $15. Marie, thank you for the $5. Then William, thank you for the $5. And Maria with another $5. Appreciate you guys. We are all caught up. Quickly over on Super Chat, Kat with a K, thank you for the 20 Canadian dollars, who says, question to the caller, I guess that would be the last caller now. Would other countries be justified in attacking the U.S. because the U.S. government executed innocent people like Alex Brody in broad daylight? Oh, great question. I'm going to have to keep that one in the bank, dude. And then Big Honey Princess Girl. I'm just going to call you Girl. Girl, thank you so much for the $20 who says, you missed my PayPal. I'm not actually sad, just like hearing my name. It's the most fame I'll ever have. I appreciate you for the $20. Are you sure that I missed it? I'll take a look. I'll take a look right now. Thank you so much for that support. And Tim, I mean, we're all caught up. If you want to take it away.
Good. That was awesome. Hey, you know, always still have the how do you still support Trump? That's one of the questions that I'm trying to figure out, because really we're not really supporting Trump. We're actually supporting America, because that's where we live. Don't laugh, because it's not funny, really. It's kind of serious when you think you love America, even though us maggots out here, because that's what we are. We're people that eat dead stuff and clean up the shit that's usually left over. But anyway, back to you. You might want to change how do you still support. Make something else different, because you're on here constantly. It's amazing. It's like a full-time job for you. It's awesome for you, actually.
Yeah, it is my full-time job. So what I'd argue is that Trump supporters don't love America, and Trump supporters who know what Trump has done and is doing hate America. You cannot convince me that you love America while simultaneously supporting the guy that has infringed on the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 10th, 14th, and 22nd Amendment in the last year and a half.
I've heard you talking.
Then you're very so much well aware of just how anti-American Trump truly is, because you've heard me say it a billion times, and you're still sitting here saying that you support him because you love America. That just makes you the most delusional, crazy person ever.
Did I say I supported him?
Yes.
I didn't say that.
You did. The first time you came up, you said that you support Trump because he's exposing the lies of the deep state.
Okay, but I do support the president of the United States, regardless of whoever is in charge.
So there's nothing that the president could do to ever make you stop supporting them. So if they said, I want to be a dictator, then just started killing people, you'd still support him because technically they're president.
Well, basically, I have a Second Amendment right to protect myself, so I wouldn't worry about somebody coming and killing me.
No, yeah, you just still support them because they couldn't kill you.
That doesn't make sense. Did
you know that homeowners who draw a firearm on home invaders lose 83% of altercations? Fun fact.
It doesn't matter.
It's actually very dangerous to draw a firearm on a home invader.
Yeah, but
I mean, I'd do it personally. I'd bank on being a part of that 20%. But I do.
You don't carry a gun? You don't have a gun?
I have a gun.
You do?
I do.
Okay, that's good. You're an American, right?
I don't think that owning a gun makes you an American.
Someone protected you, or you would protect yourself, wouldn't you?
Well, I would try to. I would try to do everything to not have to protect myself, because statistics indicate I would fail.
Like what?
Like call the cops.
What? Who would call the cops?
Me.
So you would call the cops to have somebody protect you from. You would put somebody else's body in front of you. So that's how important you are. That's what you're saying.
No, that's just what their job is.
Oh, but you don't like ICE.
Yeah, I don't like ICE. Right? You're right.
You don't like ICE because they're doing a job.
Oh man, I really enjoy the tacos from Taco Bell. Oh, but Dean, you don't like the chicken McNuggets at McDonald's? I'd call a cop to protect me if somebody was barging into my house. Oh, but Dean, you don't like ICE. Oh.
You're calling the cops, right, to protect you.
Yes.
If you live in America where you can protect yourself.
I don't think that you should try to protect yourself first, right? Because you likely don't have the sufficient training to probabilistically increase.
You don't have it?
Timothy, can you stop interrupting me?
I'm not.
You are.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, you should call the cops before you attempt to defend yourself, because the likelihood of, once again, you winning that altercation is incredibly low. I think that there's been a lot of studies done on it, and like I already repeated, there's around a 79% chance that a homeowner wins the gunfight against a home invader. It's very low, very, very, very low. And that's why I'd argue that, sure, first you should call the cops, the people who train every day for this. It's probably a good thing to have them show up when it you say.
So let's get to the insurrection then. All right.
What? I mean, okay.
Okay, we'll switch.
Wait, 1 second. Did you support Biden?
Insurrections and stuff like that. So.
Did you support Biden?
I didn't support Biden. No,
But he was president, and you said that you're going to support the president no matter what.
I didn't vote for him. I shouldn't say.
Oh, but you should have supported him, bro. See, I actually never asked this question because I expect them to like answer yes in bad faith because it's just like clearly the best counter argument against the position that they're going to support the president regardless of who they are. But like clearly I need to start answering this question because my expectations need to be lower for Trump supporters.
You're amazing. You're amazing. I didn't vote for Joe Biden because I didn't think he was going to be a good president.
Yeah, once he was president, did you support him?
What's that?
Once he was president, did you support him?
No. I still didn't support him.
So this is a contradiction, buddy.
I didn't have a choice. I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing.
This is a contradiction, buddy. Listen. You just said that you support Trump because he's the president, and you're always going to support the president. But you just so happen to not support the president for the last 4 years. Like clearly, this is contradictory.
What am I supporting him with, though?
Because he'd be the president, and you said that you need to support the president no matter what.
Like people are giving you money? Am I?
Oh, you're so mad about the money. You're so mad about the money. You know what? About the money, real quick. Thank you so much for the 20 euros, Rack RAC. Thank you so much, Rack, for the 20 euros. Thank you. I'm producing a pilot episode animation with the main themes involved a corrupt government. Within the script, there's a character 100% inspired by you, dedicated to truth and justice. His cause is called The Dynasty. Thank you. I love you so much from the UK, bro. That is awesome. Good for you, Rack. Hell yes. Dude, W's in the chat for Rack. Thank you for the 20 euros. And that is so cool. And I hope that the animation process goes well. As well as Milo. Thank you so much for the $69 donation over on YouTube. Oh my God. You guys are going crazy today. Thank you so much for that love. Show some massive love to Milo down below in that chat for the $69 donation over on YouTube. What's that?
You get to go to the Sizzler tonight. That's amazing.
I get to go to the what?
The Sizzler.
What's the Sizzler?
That's a restaurant.
Okay, Tim, thank you.
You probably don't know it, but that's okay. You can take your girlfriend to the Sizzler. Yes.
I'll take my girlfriend to the Sizzler. The Gaps, thank you for the galaxy. Milo with the $69 says, I prefer Trumpster to maggot. Maggots at least actively seek out the garbage they eat, whereas Trumpsters just stand there, eyes glazed and mouth agape, eagerly awaiting their next shovelful of GOP slopaganda.
Propaganda, right? Yes. That's
bro,
what
Milo,
we do.
if you don't have it already, you need to go start a fucking Twitter account because that's
amazing.
That's amazing. As Tim would say, that's amazing. Thank you so much for the $69, Milo, and then the 20 euros, RAC. Seriously, thank you so much. Would you say thank you, RAC, and thank you, Milo? Okay, I guess not. I'm gonna disconnect you. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
Okay. I don't think that Tim's really here for a debate. Go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead. That's fine. All right. Only hop inside of the queue if you happen to be following the rules, guys. You know what the rules are because they happen to be on your phone screen if you're watching on TikTok. Let's go ahead and get that next guest loaded up in here. Make sure that you're MAGA, please, and thank you. Make sure that you're MAGA, please, and thank you. Okay, here we go. All right. Also, make sure that you're double tapping away on that phone screen, guys. We're at 1.6 million likes. You know, we actually hit 1 million likes in 8 minutes the other day. Do you think that we could hit 2 million likes, meaning another 400,000 in 4 minutes? Double tap on that phone screen. I bet we could do it. Hell to the yeah. Hi, do you support Trump?
Oh, I didn't mean to request.
Oh, Zach, you're totally banned. You're totally so fucked, Zach. I'm just kidding. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Yo, real quick, I don't really want to do the math in my head. So does daylight savings time, you know, the thing that we just entered into like 2 days ago, mean more sunlight later or less sunlight later? Like, I'm sure it'd take me like 30 seconds to quickly do the evaluation in my head, but I just really don't feel like the effort. More sunlight later? Oh, super based. All right, you'd assume that because it's called daylight savings time. Okay, but you never know. You never know. Thank you. Pretty grim. Do you support Trump? Hello? Oh, wait. It's more sunlight in the morning? Is that it? More sunlight in the morning, less sunlight at the night, or less sunlight in the morning, more sunlight at the night? Ooh, now I need to know. This is a contentious issue. So is it more in the evening or more in the morning? Less in the, because I don't think that you could have both. It's either going to be more in the morning and less at the evening, or more in the evening and less in the morning. I'm seeing very contradictory answers. Some people are saying more at night. Some people are saying more in the morning. More in the evening? Okay, it looks like pretty much for the most part, vast majority of the chat is now agreeing on the consensus that means more in the evening. Perfect. Perfect, man. I love that. You know, let me tell you, I hate getting off stream and it being dark outside. It is literally the worst thing ever. I can't stand it. So hopefully when I get off tonight, it won't be too dark outside. I'll be able to go hang out in the sun. Sounds nice. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
So far, yeah.
You are? You're a Trump supporter. Okay. All right. How old are you?
I'm not really. I'm 27. I'm not into politics, but I'm smart. Like I'm getting a grip on Trump's endeavors. He's actually doing great.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that. I think I have like 3 people to thank for their donations, and I'll happily pass you that mic so you can tell us why. Okay.
Okay.
Ducky, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. This came in like literally less than 60 seconds ago. Let's get 200 Ducky W's. Ducky, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for the support. It really means the world. Thank you so much, Ducky. Ducky with the 20 cents spring forward. You're going to leave?
Oh, wait. You said you're seeing somebody about the... Okay, continue.
Oh, I'm just going to thank 2 people for their donations on Venmo and PayPal. And then we could have a conversation. Okay? But Ducky, thank you so much for the $20. She says, spring forward 1 hour, fall back 1 hour. Happens in the spring. 1 happens in the fall. That's how I remember it. Well, thank you so much, Ducky. That is very kind of you. Yeah, I'm always like struggling to remember it. You know what I mean? Thank you for the $20, Ducky. And then we got a big one over here on PayPal. Miss Michelle with another $50 donation. Michelle, you have been so very kind as of recently. Just know that I really appreciate you. Michelle with the $50 says, here's another dollars for therapy and for making me feel old that you don't know the Sizzler. Haha, but still love you. Got to go back to studying. Have a great rest of the night. Less sunlight in the morning and more in the evening. Appreciate you so much, Michelle. I hope that you enjoyed today's stream. I appreciate you for tuning in. You were watching for like, what, 2 hours? That's awesome. Show some love to the Queen Michelle for the $50 donation of the kind words while she's on her way out of the stream. Same thing goes for you, Harold. Good to see you, bro. Thank you for the $20 over on PayPal. Thank you so much, man. Actually, that's a total of $40. Thank you so much for the $40, Harold. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you so much for the love, Harold. I hope that you're doing well, man. I feel like it's been a while. Let me know how you've been. Thank you so much for the $40, man. Let's get 400 Harold W's. Thank you. And then I think we just have like 2 more here. Thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. Emma, who says Google is free, Dean. I know, right? Stella, thank you for the $10, who says Stella's my dog's name. Lauren is my name. Lauren, thank you for the $10, who says thank you for your time today. Thank you so much, Lauren. And then one last one here from Donna. Donna, thank you so much for the $25 donation on PayPal, who says keep up the good work. Great to see your generation be more informed and involved in a better future for all. Well, that's honestly what I want to push for, Donna, is just to help get more young people involved. And quite frankly, I think that this stream works in achieving that end goal. Thank you for the $25. I hope that you enjoyed today's stream. Let's show some massive love to Donna and all the other donors down below in that chat. Take it away, Princess Chardonnay. How the hell do you support the worst president of your life, Mr. Trump?
He's not the worst president. He's not the most uneducated president either, so...
Oh, by far.
By far. As so, like, what he's done hasn't been implemented. It hasn't been implemented. Are you saying he's the worst president because he hasn't been a mirror to his others?
What?
As what? He's pushed through a lot to help us with this wartime. And as far as inner cities goes, where I'm from in the city, he's required more. So I do have my opinions about Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America.
Okay, you're so clearly trolling. Get off my live. Moving on to the next guest. At least I hope that she's trolling. Do you support Trump? Russell? Russell, are you here? Are you here, Russell? Apparently not. Goodbye, Russell. I kind of got to go pee. Let me see if anybody's around to cover me.
Oh, my bad. I didn't need to join.
No worries. Take care. Military tier. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. We got Liam joining in. Santana, I see that you're watching. If you want to come up and coast for a little bit, let me know, bro. Moving on to the next guest. We got Alex connected into the live stream. Yo, Shara, thank you so much for the 10 euros over on YouTube. He says, love from the UK. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for that love, Shara. And then Lone Star Gambler, thank you so much for the motorcycle. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Lone Star, I swear to God, you're like watching every single day. You're awesome, bro. We're still looking for that next guest, everybody. If you are watching and you happen to be one of those terrible Trump supporters, first and foremost, you, Sakadevall, hop inside of that queue to come up here and have a conversation with me about why. But like, ugh, you know what I mean? Like, ugh, terrible. Like, oh my God. Hello, do you support Trump?
Actually, no. I just wanted to say I used to, but ever since hearing he was on that Epstein list and just all this shit with Iran, man, it's hard to like still support something like that. Like, if you're hanging around or near pedophiles, you're gonna be seen as one, and it's that simple. You can't be supporting that.
Big brain, bro. Big brain. Oh, dude, honestly, listen, folks. I think with the way that we run these streams, and we're like always asking for Trump supporters specifically, we will always be like, divulging in that selection bias of the ever decreasing size of that MAGA base, which in virtue of that fact will always make them crazier and less commonsensical. And I honestly just need to hear that. That was good to hear. It's good to remember that some people still have a brain. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
What's up, big dog? You want to go to the restroom? But yes, I do.
What did you just say?
You said you need to go to the restroom. You said you need to go to the restroom. I got you. I cover you. I'm great entertainment, bro. Great entertainment.
Don't worry about it. You're good. You're good. Tell us why you support Trump.
Bro. I'm trying to help you out. I don't, bro. I just want to say I love you, bro.
I appreciate you so much for the support. I thought he said like something else. I was really confused. I thought he was suggesting something else. I was like, okay, all right. You know, Santana will be up here in like 10 minutes. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Nymph in Control, appreciate you so much for the corgi. Thank you. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in here. Justin the boss is not loading in, so we're gonna go to move on to the next guest, Josh Stark. Do you support Trump?
Yo. Why don't you though?
How old are you?
Okay, I'm trolling. I don't support Trump.
Okay. Moving on to the next guest. This person's name is You Mute You Lose. Where are they at? They sound like a pleasure to talk to. Their name is You Mute You Lose, and they're in the comment section saying that they're in the queue. I don't think that you are. And it's because your account is private. You Mute You Lose. If you unprivate your account, you'll be able to join the queue. That's just TikTok terms of service. I don't know why they only allow public accounts to join in that queue. I'd love to talk to you. You kind of look insufferable because your name is literally You Mute You Lose 1776. So hop inside of that queue. Hop inside of that queue after you make your account public. I'll also be looking for you in the comment section. Yo, James, do you support Trump? James Nicholas, your account is muted. I sent you an invite to turn your mic back on. Love to chat, really, truly would. Guess he's not here either. Okay. Dude, I don't know what's going on, man. I'm really trying my best here. To find somebody to talk to. I like to talk to. You Mute, You Lose. He sounds like a pleasure, so. Moving on to the next guest, guys. Looking for anybody and everybody who's in the queue that's a Trump supporter who's down to come up here and debate. This person's name is W. They just said in the comment section that they've been in the queue for 45 minutes. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay, I have like two people to thank, then the mic and the floor are yours. Eliza, thank you so much for the $20 donation over at Venmo. That is very, very kind of you, Eliza. Thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, Eliza. That is ELIZA. Show some love to Eliza down below in the comment section. Eliza with the 20 says, hey, Dean, just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you. I'm a fairly local, and you always get me through the last half of my shift. Thank you. Hell yes, Eliza. I'm really happy that the streams are able to help you out. I hear that a lot, that the streams help people get through work, get through driving. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Jamie, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal. He says, hey man, conservative here who can't stand Trump. While we disagree much politically, we both agree he's a shit human, and I'm happy that we're able to have these conversations. Bro, I love to hear that, Jamie. It's so cool that there's even now people on the right. that are just ideologically opposed to me to the highest level that can also recognize that Donald Trump shouldn't be president. Miranda, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Who says, have you considered adding auto captions to your stream via YouTube MUX or stream text for hearing impaired users? I would like to add auto captions. I just don't know how to do it. I didn't even know it was a thing until you just brought it up. I'll have to look into that. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. If you're watching and you're like, hey, I like this Dean guy, and you want to support me, you want to help me continue to be able to do this for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can support me in the stream on Venmo and PayPal, which you can find in the link tree in the bio in my TikTok account, pinned message over on that YouTube stream in the handle. Also happens to be at the top of the phone screen as well. Make sure to hit that follow button as well. We do these streams every single day. So quickly, W, what year were you born in?
I was born in 2004, and I was born on June 10th.
Yeah, that's 21. That's 21. Take it away. Tell us how well you support the worst president of your life.
Okay, so first off, I would like to say during Trump's year in 2016 to 2020, I think he was
yeah, bro, you got clipped. You got clipped. You got clipped. You're not 21. You got a senior Sunday on your post.
What's a senior Sunday?
You don't know what the thing is that you posted?
Okay, well, let me do a Trump impression.
Sorry, senior sunrise, not Sunday.
Let me do a Trump impression before you go.
Okay.
Or before I go.
Okay, I'm kicking you for being it.
A lot of people, they're not so great, and I'm preferably a big...
Get out of here. Okay. Moving on to the next guest. All right, bro. Moving on. We got Vantage Customs loading up in the box. We're still looking for You Mute, You Lose. I wonder... Oh, there they are. There they are. We found them. What's going on, Vantage Customs? Do you support Trump? Nope, they're not here. You Mute, You Lose. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm definitely here. How you doing today, Dean?
I'm doing all right. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Oh, if I mute you, do I lose?
It's just a name. It's just because most liberals, they like to mute people.
Oh, I love to silence my opposition.
I think I'm about to silence you, Dean. Real quick, I think
you're, I think you're
probably... let me ask you a question first, Dean. So I think you're the biggest hypocrite, Dean. You've always advocated for all these allegations that, like, why can you support Donald Trump because he did this in a court of law, he did this, and blah, blah, blah. Well, I want to know, Dean, why do you support a domestic abuse, somebody that's been convicted of domestic abuse, and not only that, but, like, advocated for this person, gave money to this person, used your platform to have this person receive money on your stream on TikTok? Like, why do you advocate that? Why is one thing bad and then the other thing isn't?
Well, I mean, now I got to know who have I advocated for that's been convicted?
Oh, Brett Cross. Brett Cross, the person you've had on your stream plenty of times. You've actually advocated for.
Brett Cross has a DV conviction.
Oh, Dean, you know this very, very well. I mean, I got a clip on Parker because me and Brett actually debated on Parker's stream, which he was actually like, yeah, that's all true. And okay. I mean, of course, Jesus you've known Christ. This. Yeah, you've known this, and not only that.
Wait, why are you accusing me of knowing this?
Because you absolutely, there's no way you didn't know.
Why is there
Santana's
no way Santana's
known? I've been on Santana's stream. I've called Santana out on it.
To clarify here, how is there no way I wouldn't know?
Because it's very prominent on the internet. I mean,
I maybe talk to Brett Cross like once every 6 months. Like, okay, I'm so sorry.
I mean, I'm just saying,
like, take this out of the position of me being an influencer on the internet and like put it more like interpersonally into your own life.
If you have somebody on your stream,
to expect one moment. One moment. I don't do
background
checks on every single person who ever joins my stream. Does that mean I should do a background check on you right now? I'm not pivoting because I'm trying to describe how your view is false.
Let me talk. I
want you to let me talk because I was the one that started responding and you interrupted me.
Wow, man. Can't even get a word out. So
no, I feel like I'm the one that can't get a word out because I'm the one that started talking and then you interrupted me less than 3 sentences in. I gave you the grace and the leeway to like come up here and say whatever you wanted to say. I think you need to stop crying real quick and I let you finish. So I'm not crying by just simply requesting you allow me to finish my sentence.
Dean, why are you raging so hard? Let me talk. Hit your vape and calm down.
So I don't think that I'm raging by simply pointing out the fact that I'd like to be able to finish my sentence. I think what you're like obfuscating, equivocating here would be me asking you if I could just finish my statement and then you confusing me asking you you to finish my statement for like me crying and raging. But I'm just going to finish my statement nonetheless. Like I'm trying to go about this proactively and productively. But it seems like you don't really want to have that proactive and productive conversation. But to pick up from where I left off, you said that there's no way I wouldn't know that Brett Cross had a DV, like he was found guilty of DV in a court. Then I responded to that by saying, well, I didn't know. And I feel like it's kind of like insane for you to expect me to know, given the fact that I maybe talk to him once every 6 months. Like clearly if we would take this out of the context of like the random guy on the internet that you likely dehumanize because he's an influencer and you put it into your own interpersonal life, like would it be the case that the person who you talk to maybe once every 6 months, you know everything about them, including their criminal record? Like clearly not. Now I understand that you're coming at this from an angle of like very heavy rage bait, and that's why you're relying on terms such as like crying and getting angry when I just want to finish my sentence. But on a real note, your own rage bait aside, I appreciate you so much for bringing that up and putting it on my radar, because unlike you, I'm not a hypocrite, and unlike you, I do care about those things. So even though it's coming from a place of like malintentioned idiocracy and vindictiveness and wanting to hate on the liberal from your end, I'm receiving it in such a way that can actually be productive to my own future. And no, I'm not responsible for the actions of others.
Can I respond?
But I am very grateful for you informing me of the actions of others.
Here we go. All right, so real quick, because I don't have all day with you. I've already won this debate. But here's okay. Don't
just
interrupt
because you
me,
say
please.
something doesn't make it true. Just letting you know.
Wow, just do it. This is what you guys always do when you start bringing facts at liberals. They just interrupt you like all the time. So can I just please respond without you interrupting, just like I gave you time?
I don't know, man. I might interrupt the facts. I don't know. I'm a liberal. I can't hold myself back.
Here we go. I mean, this is why you're a dishonest person. You're just a grifter. But real quick,
I made a joke. Calm down. Stop fucking, dude. 1 second. Stop shitting your pants and gouging your eyeballs out because I made a joke predicated on the crazy shit that you said, bro. Dude,
second time I was muted.
Joke, Snowflake.
That's two dubs. Okay, so real quick, Dean, it is your responsibility to actually do research into people that you have up on your live. I mean, so that way this doesn't happen. And the fact is that this has been going on with him for, I think, almost 2 years now that this has been out. So you talk to him every 6 months. Well, that would have given you about 4 times to talk to him about this. Not only that, it's very prominent on the internet. Not only that, but you sit here and you have friends, supposed friends, that known about this because I've been on their streams, called them out, and they've ignored it. Right. And like they let you keep talking about it. So there's either two options. There's either they're not really your friends and they don't really care, or you guys are all grifters working for the same place, going for the same thing, which is just sitting here putting out all these false equivalencies and rhetoric that absolutely does nothing. You want to talk about constitutional rights and everything? Where were you when California, New York.
Don't change the topic of conversation.
I'm giving you examples of your contradiction, Dean. Just I gave you an example of you contradicting.
Give me the examples of my contradictions after I respond to everything that you just said about Brett Cross. It's only fair that we go like one topic
Dean,
at a time.
You know what? I got better stuff to do than sit.
So this is where you run away. So I'm just going to put you on mute, and I'm just going to forcefully respond to the things that you said because I want you to hear it, even though you're going to run away. So first and foremost, you said it's my responsibility to know these things about others. I would argue that it is actually not my responsibility to do a background check on somebody that I have up on my live stream every 6 months. I think that there's a reasonable responsibility that influencers and creators feel as if running a background check on somebody that I have up maybe once every 6 months would extend beyond that reasonability threshold. And this coming from a person that supports somebody who's raped a woman as president is so hypocritical. If it's my responsibility as an influencer to do a criminal background check on somebody I would consider having up on my live, and if they have a conviction for domestic violence, they can't even be platformed on my live stream. And simultaneously, if somebody was found guilty of rape, they should be platformed in the Oval Office. Clearly that tells me that you don't care about anything that you're saying. But even though that you don't care about what you're saying, still, in response, no, I don't think that that is a reasonable responsibility in which I would possess. However, I do appreciate you for putting that on my radar, so I know. And now continue to try to rage bait and try to find a way to convince me of something that you know that you don't care about, and you're just using it as a weapon to attempt to position my audience against me because you know that I'm effective in changing the minds of Trump supporters, and you know that you're probably one of the only people left that are willing to support Trump, regardless of the fact that he's a rapist, regardless of the fact that he illegally hid files accusing him of child rape, regardless of the fact that he boasted about sexual exploitation, so on and so forth. And yes, I am muting you when you're over speaking me when I'm speaking, in the same way that I let you speak without interruption until you wanted to change the topic of conversation away from Brett Cross into like policies and contradictions that are true of people on the left and the right, because you knew that you'd get fucking cooked. And the same way that your name is if you mute, you lose, I think I'm going to change my name to if you cry, you lose. Because if I did make that my name, that would mean that you've been losing the debate since the moment you joined. But go ahead, respond to my cogent rebuttal of the set of facts in which you shared, starting with me, A, pointing out the fact that no, I do not believe it is my reasonable responsibility to do literal background checks on people I've up once every 6 months, and how you're B, a fucking hypocrite, because you're saying if you're found guilty of this bad crime, you shouldn't be platformed on a live stream, but apparently if you're guilty of a worse crime like rape, you should be platformed in the Oval Office. Go ahead.
So first off, real quick, this is exactly why this is my name, is because you guys can't handle the truth. You guys can't handle when it's actually put back on you and there's a mirror facing you on your criticisms on what you guys do on an every single day basis. So real quick, I didn't say you had to do a full background investigation like you're hiring the guy. All I said is do a quick Google search. You'd probably find a little bit out about the people you're advocating. And not only that, but people that get on your stream and donate to this person. You would think that it would be your responsibility to take the hard-earned money of your fans and people that donate to you that have been abused by domestic abusers to make sure it does not go in the pockets of somebody that did. First off, Dean. Second off, Dean, let me just say one thing. The reason why you're so mad right now is because I just pointed out one of your biggest contradictions is the fact that once you actually do research into any of you, you start finding out that there's a lot more to the story than you guys let there be. And then third off, Dean, he was actually criminally held liable for what he did, unlike Donald Trump, which was civilly held liable for what he did. You know what the difference in that is, Dean? Because there's a big difference. Not only that, Dean, to sit here and say that Donald Trump was criminally convicted of that, which you just said, opened yourself up for a lawsuit, Dean. So I would dare you to make a public statement that Donald Trump was criminally held liable for rape, because you definitely won't. I bet you $100 you will not post that on your Twitter.
Oh, wait. So first and foremost, I just got a text. He actually hasn't been on my live stream since this publicly came out. The last time he was on my live stream was around 8 to 10 months ago, and he hasn't been on my live stream since. I just got that text from a mutual friend.
Because they wanted,
no. One moment. Oh, come on. Don't interrupt me after I give you the mic for like 3 minutes. What are we doing? So embarrassing. I let you speak uninterrupted for 3 minutes until you were done, and then you interrupt me 3 words in.
When was the last time you mentioned him, Dean?
Hypocritical.
When was the last time you mentioned him?
No, I want to be able to finish my statement.
When was the last time you mentioned him, Dean?
I don't even remember. Probably 8 to 10 months ago, but I want to be able to finish my statement. Are you ready?
Put $100 on it that it wasn't.
Are you ready? Oh, listen, are you ready to allow me to finish my sentence? I will let you.
It wasn't even that long ago that you mentioned him, Dean.
Guys, he's freaking out because he knows that if he lets me speak, he'll look bad.
Hey,
so then let me speak without interruption. I know, now you gotta go. Because now you know if I tell you that I haven't had him up on my live stream for 8 to 10 months, and the reason why apparently me and my friends haven't talked about this at all is because he hasn't been on my live stream, so it hasn't been a topic of conversation. You'd look bad, and then all of a sudden your whole narrative is fucking thrown in the garbage because you can no longer hold to the claim, Dean, you should have done this reasonable investigation into who you're platforming, because the last time he was on my platform, none of this was public. Fuck you! You look terrible! Oh my god, and then he leaves and then he runs away. How do you manage to make yourself look so terrible? Oh my god. What an idiot. I mean, truly, what an idiot. You got absolutely fried. 10 out of 10. You left, you ran, you leave, you lose. Run away, little boy. I mean, what a bad day for MAGA, man. So now they're trying to create this new narrative that Dean Withers, bad person because he had a DVR up on the live stream. Now we're finding out that the last time I had him on my live stream was before any of this came out. 10 out of 10. I'm gonna
have to agree with you. That guy's a little weird, but we disagree on pretty much everything else, you and I.
1 second, bro. What is your profile picture?
Just you supporting AIPAC.
That's, bro. Goddamn. Okay.
I mean, sometimes you gotta have a hook to grab them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't support AIPAC.
You don't support AIPAC?
No.
You support politicians who are funded by AIPAC.
I support harm reduction, which would include voting for a politician funded by AIPAC compared to, I don't know, the killer of all. Just saying. Yes, I do.
The killer of all. Wow.
Yes.
So are you comparing Trump to Satan himself?
Yeah, yes. I would rather vote for a politician that's funded by AIPAC but wants to give tax cuts to the middle class compared to Satan 2.0. That's also funded by AIPAC to a higher degree. Yes.
So you're basically agreeing with the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and saying that America is the great Satan?
Wait. How are you in one breath saying that I'm funded by AIPAC, and then in the next breath saying that I'm funded by the guy that gives money to Hamas?
I know that me saying this might make me sound a little crazy, but they're both the same. Isn't that a little bit like contradictory? They're both the same. They're both the same.
Wait, but is it not contradictory for you to suggest in one breath, Dean, is Israel first is willing to do whatever they want, funded by AIPAC, then in the next breath saying, oh, Dean, like you're clearly a part of Hamas?
I mean, I wasn't saying that you were part of Hamas. I was saying that you were agreeing with Ali Khamenei and saying, well, in Iran, they call America the great Satan. I don't know if you know that or not. That's what they call America. They call Israel the little Satan.
I don't think I call America the great Satan. I think I call Trump the great Satan. However, right, like, I think that America has done a lot of really satanic things in the Middle East, so.
Well...
But once again, like, do you understand?
Let's talk about foreign
do you understand that like one could like clearly hold to like the nuanced view that Israel bad, AIPAC bad, but still, yet if it were to come down to a vote between somebody like Kamala Harris and Trump, even though they're both funded by AIPAC, I'm gonna vote for Kamala Harris because A, she's funded by AIPAC less, B, she's less pro-Israel in comparison to Trump, and C, her domestic policy is better for like everyone.
Okay, how is her domestic policy better? I mean, we wouldn't have even like known that. We don't know that for a fact because she's never been president. So this is all just speculation.
Because we know the policy that she ran on.
Okay, so for example, what, like no tax on tips? That's something that she ran on, but Donald Trump also ran on it, but it's not a thing. So it clearly wouldn't have worked to begin with. Because if it would have worked, then Donald Trump would have implemented it.
Okay, he actually did implement a variant of it, so you're already wrong. But her domestic policy, I would say, was much better. Had to range from tax cuts for the low and middle class compared to Donald Trump's tax hikes for the low and the middle class, running on women's access to abortion, running on like cooperating with good allyships with our transatlantic partners, not like wanting to destroy NATO. No new war, unlike Trump starting a new war in Iran, so on and so forth.
I hate to cut you off. I will agree with you that the foreign policy this term has not been the greatest, at least compared to his first term. However, the main reason why I support Donald Trump is because of his foreign policy. Can I actually take a moment to thank my AIPAC donors?
Sure,
go ahead.
Thank you. To quickly thank my AIPAC donors, Ken, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo from AIPAC. Thank you so much for the love, Ken. I'm just kidding. Ken with a $50 says, super dumb MAGA lately. Oh, I know. Every single guest have just been so stupid. Know that I really appreciate that, Ken. Let's get 500 Ken W's down below in that comment section. So some love to Ken. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that love, Ken. It's good to see you. I feel like it's been a while, man. That is so much money, and I'm very grateful for you. Steph, thank you for the $5 who says, Nick Cross refuted the DV allegations and stated to the lawyers and the media. Nikki Cross, sorry, Brett Cross's husband, wife. So Nikki Cross, Brett Cross's wife, refuted the DV allegations. Brett wasn't convicted of anything according to a local news report. Well, I appreciate you for letting me know, Steph. Courtney, thank you so much for the $3 as well. How's he going to support Trump when he's taken $230 million from AIPAC? Great question. Aubrey, thank you for the $5. And Fussy, thank you for the $5 as well. Quickly, over on PayPal, Haley, that is Hayley. Thank you so much for the $30 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Haley. Show some love to Haley down below in the comment section. Haley with the $30 says, I'm so sick of abusers getting away with everything. Every single man who's assaulted me is still roaming free. Fuck you, Aiden, and fuck you, Tristan. Please say that out loud. Haley, I know. And it's just so much more difficult because now all of a sudden we have them roaming free in the fucking Oval Office. Thank you for the $30, Haley. Please show some love to Haley down below in that chat. Same thing with Julia. Thank you for the $25 on PayPal. He says, hey, Dean, I appreciate your patience to debate some of the worst kinds of humans the humankind has to offer. Keep fighting the good fight. It's refreshing to see American people like yourself who are actually educated. Thank you so much, Julia. That is so much money. I'm very grateful for you. Show some love to Julia down below for the 25. And Mojo, thank you for the $10 as well. I appreciate you. Sabelle, thank you so much for the $10. And Shripa, thank you for the $5, and Daniel with the $5. And Sabelle, I just read your message, man. You're actually the GOAT. Then we just have one more person to thank, then the mic on the floor will be that of the guests. Camp, thank you so very much for the $100 donation over on YouTube. Camp, that is fucking crazy, man. Camp with $100 says, victim of abusive grandfather here. My conscience is clean giving you this money. Camp, you've been watching for ages. I'm so grateful for you. I don't deserve a penny of that. There's so much fucking money. Thank you so much, Camp. Please, for everybody watching, I want to see at least 1,000 Camp W's in the comment section for the next 5 minutes straight. Thank you so much for that kindness. If you want to support me, support the stream to allow us to continue to do this for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on my TikTok account. Pin a message on YouTube. The handle is also right there at the top of the phone screen on TikTok as well. Get 100% of those proceeds. You could attach a message, and I'll do my best to read it out loud. Appreciate y'all. Now, actually, back to you. I'd like you to answer this question because clearly you're saying that I'm like Satan 2.0 because I voted for Kamala Harris over Trump, and Kamala Harris took some money from AIPAC. What does this make you, considering the fact that Donald Trump took $230 million from AIPAC?
Well, I don't necessarily hate on Donald Trump for taking money from AIPAC. I was just simply pointing out the hypocrisy in you hating on Donald Trump for taking money from AIPAC when you as well support politicians who take money from AIPAC.
It's not hypocritical because I also condemn people like Kamala Harris for taking money from AIPAC. I just recognize that she was the lesser of two evils within that respect.
Okay, well, fair enough. However, how do you feel about the Iran war? Well, I know how you feel about it. I know you don't support it. I know that you think that it's not really the best thing to do. However, have you heard about the Kurdish offensive that has been going on and the fact that we've been supplying weapons to them ever since the July strikes last year?
I know that Donald Trump fucked the Kurds over in his first term. It left 50 through 75,000 of them to starve, flee, or die when we pulled out of Kurdistan after the Turkish-Kurdish war. But I'm not too familiar with what we've been doing since last year, and I'm not really aware of what this would have to do with insofar as why you support Trump as president.
Yeah,
it has to do
from as well, because I haven't seen anything about that, and also the Kurds are specifically saying that they're not getting involved in this conflict, so I'm a little bit confused with that.
That's not true, Santana. You have the Iraqi Kurds in Erbil, like the official Iraqi Kurds, stating that they're not getting involved. However, there is signs that thousands of fighters are preparing to pour over the border, along with but
the official statement that we have is the Kurds are saying they're not getting involved, and
that is from one group, and yet you have to remember that the situation in Kurdistan is extremely complicated, and there's like at least a dozen different paramilitary groups in that one area. But
what are the
regardless,
signs? What are the signs?
Exactly.
The signs are. It was being reported on the 4th, and then a lot of news outlets were walking it back on the 5th, but the signs were still there, according to a lot of like geopolitical analysts. The signs, so Donald Trump and Netanyahu, they were talking about covertly supplying weapons across the Iraqi border into like Iran. A bunch of other stuff.
Just what are the signs that thousands of Kurds are going to go fight?
Armored columns going up to the border. Even like Erbil's military is positioning themselves to like doing a limited offensive. The Iraqi Kurds have.
I'm sorry. How does this relate to why you support Trump?
Because I support his foreign policy. I 100% support the war in Iran. I 100% support the capture of Maduro.
When you voted for him, did you support the promise that he made you of no new wars?
So I didn't, but I didn't think that he was telling the truth. I thought that if he, I believe that if he did say that he was
believe that he'd start another war.
I believe that if he told the truth on what
so
his plan was with Iran, I believe it was military deception. It was deception. It's the same thing.
I have a question. Why don't you go enlist?
Because I'm disabled.
What's your disability? I'm just curious. I believe
I have bipolar disorder, so they wouldn't let me in.
Okay. If you did not have bipolar disorder, would you enlist?
Oh, 100%.
You'd 100% go enlist?
Yes. I would enlist. I would get out.
So what are the benefits of us striking Iran?
YPG International. I would probably go over to Ukraine or something like that.
Okay, here's my question. Do you think that we're anywhere close to like an end in the war in Iran?
Today, Donald Trump said that we could be done way earlier than he thought we would be. He said we might not even need the
that he's getting ready to end it. It's basically already complete.
Yeah, it pretty much is. All we have to do, we just have to send the Kurds in. We have to send the Balochs in Balochistan.
I just want to circle back around. You keep saying that, but like again, I'm looking at Al Jazeera right now, and even looking at the religious aspects of the different Kurdish groups, everyone is saying that they aren't doing anything. Like I see what you're saying. Like 6 days ago, where they were talking about there was a possible spark of an uprising, but as of 2 days ago, Al Jazeera has the most updated reporting, and whether you talk about the Iraqi Kurds or you talk about the 3 other religious groups that are present, everyone's saying they're out. So I'm still confused where you're getting this from.
Listen, I respect your ability to understand and articulate different sources, Santana. I really do. But according to the open source intelligence that I and a bunch of other different analysts have been looking at,
bro, shut up.
I'll have to say
dude,
this is just
you're saying that you're finding this with OSINT. Dude, come on, get out of here. So then show us your findings.
Okay, sure. I can show you my... I'm going to go out of the app for just 1 second. I got to get a screenshot.
Dude, he's saying that he's using...
It's literally...
He's using OSINT. He's using OSINT to determine that all the countries are going to raid Iran and take out their terrible leadership. There's no sources on this whatsoever because it's highly secretive, but anybody with OSINT can find it.
I have a friend who was in the YPG International for 3 years.
Yeah,
all right, I know a lot about how this stuff works. I know a lot about the different.
Stop the yap and just give us the sources, please. And thank you.
I was just about to say, also based off of a reliable source of mine, you know, an open source who just sent over some great information about this. With ANF News and also with
wait, hold on, AF Post
News. And with BSA News,
Did you just say AF Post?
No, he didn't. He said ANF News.
Oh.
The KRG says reports of arming Kurdish opposition against Iran are false. And this is as of said that the reports came Thursday. This is.
I think that this guy's just bullshitting us.
Yeah, like every other source is saying that that's absolutely not true. So I'm super interested in this open source you have.
Okay, let me take a look at this real quick.
I think that he's just bullshitting us and wasting our time. I'm actually getting ready to kick him.
I mean, if you're gonna kick me, it's just you running, just like you did with the last guest. But whatever.
He left.
All right. Massive blast in.
1 second.
Garage,
Wait, no.
Iran.
Hold on.
That would have been an oil strike.
Hold on. The last guest left.
You didn't kick him?
He left. I did not kick him.
Address the allegations, Dean, so I can marry my girlfriend. Come on, Dean. Address the allegations. I need to marry my girlfriend. Yeah, you're going to hate me after.
He's a troll. Okay. What? Moving on to the next guest. I have no clue. I don't know. He comes up here every so often and says that. He's a troll. For what it's worth, man, you should really look into being like a salesman. You should look into selling cars. I mean, you're a great bullshitter. Clearly, you're a great bullshitter. How do you support Trump, Josh?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 18. I just turned 18 yesterday. I'm not even kidding. I was born in 2008.
What month and day?
Yeah, I was born March 8th, 2008.
Okay. All right, dude. Well, you really shouldn't support Trump. He's a terrible president. I just have one person to thank you, then the mic and the floor will be yours. Mr. John, this came in 5 minutes ago. I'm very thankful for you, bro. Thank you for the $20 donation over on Venmo. Huge shout out to Mr. John down below in that comment section. As well as Hunter. Thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. I appreciate it. You show some love to John and Hunter. Take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Yeah, I support Trump because of his executive order that is protecting women's bathrooms.
Wait, your bio says proud J6er?
Yeah.
So you raided the Capitol when you were like 13?
Yeah, this isn't my account.
Whose account is it?
It is, but it was my uncle's prior to him using TikTok basically. So he can't go on TikTok anymore. Well, he's not allowed to.
Your uncle raided the Capitol?
He's not allowed to.
I don't think he actually did.
Wait, why is your uncle not allowed on TikTok?
What?
You said that your uncle's not allowed to go on TikTok. Why?
Yeah, I'm that's like kind of personal matters. I can't. He didn't do anything like seriously bad. It's not like actually really bad, but like.
Well,
it's just like personal matters. Yeah.
What happened?
It's just personal stuff between our family. So
it's family restricting.
So yeah, it's not the law. It's a family. I don't know. I think that this guy's trolling.
I'm not trolling.
Okay. Yeah, you said that you support him because he keeps men out of private women's only spaces.
Yes.
Like you said, like trans women going into the women's restroom.
Yes.
So if a trans woman went into the women's restroom and then ran for president, would you ever vote for them in a billion years?
If they had good policy, I would.
If they had good policy, they would. Okay. All right. What about if a cis man went into a woman's restroom and just sexually exploited the people inside?
Brother, dude. Can we trans people without you like going to Donald Trump?
Yeah, sure. I think that trans women should be allowed in the women's restroom because I think that segregating the restrooms on the basis of a gender identity compared to sex is actually safest for everybody inside of the space, including the cis women. When we segregate restrooms on the basis of biological sex, we're saying that trans men who are biologically female should be using the women's restroom. But because of the effect of testosterone, trans men can be just as masculine or in many circumstances more masculine presenting than cis men, meaning that when we would segregate the restrooms on the basis of biological sex, we're opening the door as wide as possible to any and all cis men who would want to claim they're trans men to enter into the space to take advantage of women. Meanwhile, if we were to segregate the restrooms on the basis of gender identity, we'd be saying that trans men should go into the men's room and trans women should go into the women's room. And because trans women are less masculine presenting on average compared to trans men, we're closing the door, not allowing as masculine of presenting individuals on average into the space, meaning that ultimately it'll be harder for cis men to take advantage of the women and girls inside by falsely claiming to be of a sex or gender identity that is allowed to enter into the space. So see, there's a response that doesn't concern Trump. Would you like to respond to my argument that doesn't concern Trump? And then as soon as you can't, let's move on to how you're a fucking hypocrite, because in one breath you're like, oh, I don't think a trans woman should be able to take a piss in a woman's restroom, but I think that a cis man should be able to barge inside of the women and girls dressing room to look at their naked bodies and say their boobs look good, including the minors, and then be president. He left.
Did he run?
He did, bro.
Dean broke the toy, chat. Dean broke the toy. Dean broke the toy.
I started talking about Trump, and then he was like, oh, talk about trans people without talking. So I did. I gave him the full comprehensive argument insofar as why I think trans women should use the women's restroom. And at the end, I was just like, okay, so do you want to address that or the hypocrisy as it would relate to Trump? And I don't think we wanted to address any of it.
You know what I've noticed? Like, they're making a conscious decision instead of just like looking stupid or admitting they don't know anything, or they're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave. Like they're just pulling the ripcord and just like, nah, and just opting out. It's wild.
I know. They just rip it out. I couldn't agree more. Let's go to move on to the next guest at this point in time, folks. If you want to support me, you could find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio everywhere. Oh, hello. Do you support Trump?
Yep.
Age?
18.
What year were you born in? Bro, you just lied.
Right, look, hold on.
No, Eli, you're going to hell.
Say one thing.
You just broke the 10 Commandments, Eli. You're fucking cooked, kid. You're actually unironically going to hell. You are absolutely fried. Completely cooked. Dude, Goofy is over. Do you support Trump?
Can you hear me, Dean?
I can. Do you support Trump?
Listen, don't kick me, please. I had people that support Trump, but through you.
I'm sorry, man. I'm kicking you. Because we're just looking for Trump supporters. We got the next guest loading up into the box right now. We got Maria loading in. Hunter, I just saw this come through, man. I appreciate you for the $1 and the kind message over on Venmo. Just read that to myself. Hello, Maria. Do you support Trump?
Oh my God, I don't even know how I got on here.
No worries at all, Maria. No worries at all. Moving on to the next guest right now. On the opposite side of the queue, if you happen to support Trump, you guys know what the rules are. Dean. Just leave.
Listen.
Just leave.
I had a question. Nope,
just leave.
Why are you being so rude?
Just leave.
Why don't you leave?
No. What? You leave.
Yeah, why don't you leave?
So I clearly don't want you on the live. I'm kind of done
so can you leave? Can you leave?
Obsessive psychosis.
How am I obsessed with you? Again, made it clear.
She came.
Dude, shut up. You have me blocked. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. You have me blocked. Stop talking to me, Santana. You have me blocked. Shut up. Stop talking to me. Shut up.
And you weren't even there, Dean.
Shut up. You have me blocked. Don't speak. Dean, I think that you just need to honestly
apologize to Santana. I'm gonna kick you.
Does it have to be like genuine?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't need to give you the reasoning for my law. It's the law of the land.
Your law?
Either do it.
So you're a
or get
dictator.
kicked.
You think you're a dictator.
Yeah, I'm dictating this conversation.
You think you're... So that's like really hypocritical of you, honestly, to claim that you are anti-dictator.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's either you apologize to Santana or you get kicked. You have like
Santana, I'm
seconds.
very sorry for insulting you and telling you to shut up.
Okay.
So, do you want to...
Jay, do you support Trump?
I do.
How do you?
I'm gonna leave. I don't support Trump either.
Okay. Okay, Trey. He lost his confidence there. He lost his confidence. We're still looking for that next guest. We got Chasey Boy 341 loading up in the box. Chasey Boy, hello. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I support Trump.
Have we talked before?
Yeah, we talked before. I taught you a bunch of stuff.
You taught me a bunch of stuff?
Yeah.
I think I'm the teacher here. I'm the
really?
Yeah, I'm the real man. You're the.
I asked you how many amendments there were, and you couldn't tell me 27. But now you rattle that off like crazy.
Really?
Remember? Yeah.
You know what?
But it was okay.
Okay. I'll give that to you.
Okay, that's fine. So now you remember.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about your stance on the 14th Amendment about the birthright citizenship.
Let's do it.
And you called Donald Trump. Okay.
Let's do that. I'm gonna share my stance real quick with everyone, just so we all know what we're about to get into. So my stance is that the 14th Amendment extends birthright citizenship to the children born to undocumented immigrants on American soil, and my stance is also that Donald Trump belligerently infringed on the 14th Amendment when he passed Executive Order Number 14160. Taking that claim to birthright citizenship away from the children born to undocumented immigrants on American soil. It's unconstitutional. He can't do that.
Done?
Yeah, just as my stance.
Well, I think what we have to do is because you're talking about the 14th Amendment, and what you're talking about is the all persons first of the 14th Amendment. But if we want to talk about the 14th Amendment, I think we got to put into context starting with the 13th Amendment. See, the 13th Amendment was something that happened after a major event in our country. You know what that is, right?
Slavery.
Well, it was after the Civil War. So what did the 13th Amendment do?
It abolished slavery in all circumstances but one.
It legalized slavery.
Okay, what didn't it do? What didn't it do?
It didn't give them citizenship. Then the Dred Scott decision was made, and then they...
Correct, but what happened is...
And then this Dred Scott decision ruled that they don't have birthright citizenship.
Who was the author of the 14th Amendment?
Well, there was two different... there's a congressman that proposed it in the House. There's a congressman that proposed it in the Senate. I forget their names.
Well, the House representative was a man by the name of John Brigham, who
there you go. John
proposed it in 1866. Okay? It wasn't ratified to 1868, 2 years later, almost 2 years to the date. One was done in June of 1866, ratified in July of 1868.
So far, everything that you've said is right.
I agree. So the reason that he brought forth the 14th Amendment was to have the former slaves receive citizenship, those born to slaves, and those, I'm talking about John Brigham. And the reason that it took 2 years for it to be ratified to 1866 is because Johnson, who succeeded Lincoln, was totally against it. Absolutely not. And that's why it took 2 years. And there wasn't enough states when it was first brought to get it.
What really made the 14th Amendment hard was the insurrection clause. That's a big reason why it took 2 years. And if you read the congressional debate on the floor of the House and Senate, you'll actually hear them have a conversation about, well, does the birthright citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment apply to immigrants? And they say yes. That was the conclusion of the congressional debate. But I'd like to make a note here that we already have case law from SCOTUS on the interpretation of the 14th Amendment that I believe really solidifies my claim that it was unconstitutional. Oh, wait, is SCOTUS the ultimate interpreter of the law of the land?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you admit that Donald Trump's executive order was unconstitutional?
No, if you're going to go with that aspect, you must mean that the overturning of Roe v. Wade is correct.
Yeah, well, so what I will say is once Roe v. Wade was overturned, the Constitution did not protect any woman or girl's access to abortion because SCOTUS ultimately does possess the descriptive power to arbitrate the interpretation of the Constitution kind of however they want. So what I would say there is, yeah, as it stands, the Constitution does not protect, any one person's access to abortion. The same way you'd have to say is, as it stands, the Constitution does protect, the children born to undocumented immigrants' claim to birthright citizenship on American soil. Therefore, you have to concede that Donald Trump's executive order number 14160 was unconstitutional. And that's the end of the debate. I win, you lose. Chasey Boy looks like I'm doing the teaching today.
Not really true, because what you're saying right now is, one, you are taking it as a fact. The other one, you're putting it as an interpretation. So the interpretation of what SCOTUS did on Roe v. Wade said that it should not be authorized inside of a federal level. When you're talking about the interpretation of the 14th Amendment, with the 14th Amendment interpretation, which is another one that's going to be coming up very soon because they're going to be going over the 14th Amendment and clarifying to the facet of whether the 14th Amendment pertained to the
They've already clarified that.
No, they haven't clarified that yet in SCOTUS. The SCOTUS you're talking about was brought. It's coming up again to SCOTUS for birthright citizenship. Okay, so when it reaches SCOTUS,
I think that you just want to come up here and kind of chat. Listen, I'm here for debate.
I'm not chatting. I'm saying that.
So, do you concede that Donald Trump's executive order, EO number 14160, is unconstitutional or not?
No, I think it has nothing to do with being, because it was an executive order. He can't pass it. So it's like bringing it forth in 1866 and then waiting for it to get ratified in 1888. So Donald Trump or anybody else can bring it forth. Then it has to go to Congress to get ratified. So just because he brought it forth doesn't mean it was ratified.
Okay, so I don't know why. Listen. In one breath, what you say is true. In the next breath, everything you say is false. An executive order is not a proposition to Congress to ratify a new amendment.
No, I understand that.
Is an order and which would follow in pursuit to the Constitution and federal law, insofar as how the Constitution and federal law, what already exists, is actually executed. Not to mention, if you literally read the executive order, he's not saying that they should update the Constitution or SCOTUS should change their interpretation. He's saying that in accordance with the 14th Amendment as it exists, they don't have that right. So 100%. When you respond by saying that this is just a proposition from Trump to Congress to ratify a new amendment,
well,
you obviously haven't read the executive order, because if you read the executive order, Trump is saying we don't need a new amendment. They don't have birthright citizenship as it stands.
Correct.
So go ahead and concede. Go ahead and concede that you were wrong when you suggested that this executive order is a suggestion to Congress to make a new amendment.
No, I said to SCOTUS. If I said Congress, I meant to say SCOTUS. I said what Donald Trump
you said ratify a new amendment, but SCOTUS doesn't ratify new amendments. So therefore you did mean Congress, or you don't know the functions of our government.
I meant to say SCOTUS, that Donald Trump's executive order.
But you said that, okay, so if you meant to say SCOTUS in that sentence, then the sentence would have read, it was a suggestion to SCOTUS to ratify a new amendment. SCOTUS does not ratify new amendments.
It was meant to say SCOTUS to, which is coming up, the interpretation of the 14th Amendment. Like you said, Donald Trump's executive order was to clarify that the 14th Amendment does not include birthright citizens for illegal immigrants. That was the executive order stating that that's
exactly. But you already agreed that the Constitution, says otherwise. The Constitution, as it stands, does protect that claim to birthright citizenship. Therefore, because his executive order said otherwise, and started directing the Department of Homeland Security to identify, detain, and deport people who are born in this country to parents that are undocumented immigrants, you have to admit that that was an unconstitutional act. Mm-hmm. You have to admit it. You have to admit it.
Where in the Constitution does it say that it goes to illegal legal
You're
immigrants?
trying to actually mix the
14th Amendment.
EO with the fact that, if they were passing legislation and they were looking to ratify, sure, but that's not what the EO is for. And the EO directly violates the Constitution because the Constitution is already set. The EO is the executive order that immediately implements it. It's not a waiting process. So it absolutely
but the Constitution does not say
it does.
Illegal immigrants.
So it does. Wait. The section of the Constitution that says the children born to undocumented immigrants have birthright citizenship would be the first subsection of the 14th Amendment, where it says all persons born or naturalized in the United States of America and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens. That says that undocumented immigrants, or more so their children born on American soil, are citizens, because we know that undocumented immigrants are subject to the jurisdiction thereof from Plyer v. Doe in 1989 and U.S. versus Wonkamark in 1898.
Correct. That was an interpretation by SCOTUS.
Okay, so therefore that's where in the Constitution it says that undocumented immigrants and their children born on American soil have a claim to birthright citizenship. And that's exactly why Donald Trump was doing something unconstitutional. He's like, no, they fucking don't. DHS, I want you to start reclassifying people with parents that are undocumented immigrants as undocumented immigrants themselves, fucking arrest them, throw them in the back of a U-Haul, then put them on a plane and send them to CCOT. That was unconstitutional. It was illegal for Donald Trump to tell DHS to consider them undocumented and deport them. Can you admit that? Can you admit that that was unconstitutional? 100%. So, and that was the executive order. Therefore, you admit that the executive order was unconstitutional. No. We're almost done. I got you to say that A equals B because I got you to admit that that directive was unconstitutional. Now let's see if we could get from B to B equals C. All right. Can you admit that that directive was the executive order?
The unconstitutional executive
order. No. Answer my question. Can you admit that that directive was the executive order?
That was the executive order, correct.
Okay, so you said that directive was unconstitutional, and you said that that directive was the executive order, so therefore, do you finally concede that that executive order was unconstitutional after arguing otherwise for the last 15 minutes, yes or no?
Yes. Now, what I'm saying is it's going back in front of SCOTUS, and we're going to wait for a new interpretation.
Yeah, I win. You just conceded. Anything else you want to debate? Because, I mean, you lost on that topic.
You know, Dean, listen, again, sometimes I like debating you, but here's the problem with you. Now, I'm going to give you your issue. Your issue is you love to be right. You do. You love it.
I do.
Yeah.
I love to be right. And look, I am right.
But your problem is you hate to be wrong. I mean, you hate being wrong more than you even love being right.
No, actually, that's not true. You cannot infer. One moment. Let me clarify here. Let me clarify. You're actually wrong. Me loving to be right does not necessarily imply that therefore I hate being wrong. You actually have to accept and be okay with being wrong in order to love being right, because accepting that you're wrong sometimes is what helps you be right more often.
Yeah, but the problem is you hate being wrong. That's why you argue so hard and so much, because you hate being wrong.
He's passionate about the things that he's talking about, and he actually believes and has conviction. And also, like, he's not wrong. So what? It sounds like it's just a moot point.
Yeah, this is Cope. This is Cope. You already conceded that I'm not wrong. You explicitly conceded that I'm not wrong, bro.
Okay, let me ask you this. Without throwing in the SCOTUS interpretation of the 14th Amendment, when the 14th Amendment was ratified in 1868...
Wait, without having the body that actually interprets the Constitution, interpret the Constitution?
Answer that. When the 14th Amendment was first written, before SCOTUS interpreted the Constitution as...
Less than 40 minutes later, less than 40 years later, when the original authors were still alive.
You hate being wrong. You hate it. When the 14th Amendment was first ratified, did it have anything whatsoever to do with undocumented or illegal immigrants, or is it pertaining to the slaves? Now, I'm not talking about after
SCOTUS. That's not a true dichotomy. That's not a true dichotomy. I can explain how.
What do you mean?
You're saying either it had something to do with undocumented immigrants or it was just about slaves. So what I'd say here is that during its adjudication in Congress, for them all to agree on what they wanted it to be, they had explicit conversation about immigrants and immigration. Did they explicitly clarify legal immigration or illegal immigration? No, they were just talking about immigration. Okay, now we could assume that they understand the concept of undocumented immigration because the founding fathers of this country and the Constitution were undocumented immigrants themselves. So I would actually posit here that they were considered in this evaluation of, well, what immigrants should we extend birthright citizenship to? And that was explicitly clarified by SCOTUS less than 40 years later. Like, even the originalist argument that you're attempting to purport here would actually give good credence to the SCOTUS's ruling, because it happened literally in the 19th century, 1898. Something else I want to point out here is that we can't just ignore 1/3 of the federal government. We cannot just ignore the co-equal branch that is tasked with being the ultimate law of the land to interpret and determine what the Constitution means. That is so fucking stupid for you to even suggest, okay? Because if we just want to look back at the originalist intentions of the founding fathers, the Bill of Rights, and then the other 17 amendments, it's a really bad argument, because now all of a sudden the First Amendment doesn't protect your right to free speech on social media. The Second Amendment doesn't protect your right to own an AR-15. Should I keep on going?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that 2 examples are enough. There you go.
Okay. So you did concede to the facet that the original 14th Amendment really had nothing to do specifically with illegal immigrants that are happening today, correct?
Yeah, so it has nothing to do specifically with illegal immigrants, in the same way that the First Amendment had nothing to do specifically with social media, in the same way that the Second Amendment had nothing to do specifically with AR-15s.
Excellent points. Like, and would you admit that even the founding fathers said that there was a need to actually have like adjustments and, even a new constitution that would actually be governed by the time, like the people and the time that they live in, versus living off of the original constitution?
Oh my goodness!
Absolutely, they're called amendments.
I touched my. By the way, guys, if you're watching and you're curious why my eye's all red, it's because I touched my fucking eye after petting Momo again, and that kills me. Look at me, bruh. Look at me. It's all fucking red.
Why do we have 27 amendments to the Constitution in 250 years?
Yeah, Thomas Jefferson advocated for a new constitution every 19 years.
Okay, but he didn't get it.
No, but I'm just saying the entire premise that we're supposed to like not have updates. That literally, the Constitution is a quote unquote living, breathing document, and the adjustments to the document speaks to Dean's point, the fact that there's been different amendments and articles added based off of the time and actually developing as a nation. So going back to the original intention of the 14th Amendment without taking into like the years and years and years of change throughout our entire country would absolutely do injustice to the point of the Constitution. Like if that was the case, then we wouldn't even need any articles or amendments. We would just continue to live off the original document unchanged. Yeah,
I'll let you respond there, but like clearly, Chasey boy, you hate being wrong. And earlier when you told that to me, you were fucking projecting. No, and now
someone that conceded that
okay,
it was
can you not interrupt me? Got it.
To you.
Go ahead.
I'm the one that said, okay, well, now that you clarified it that way, yes, Donald Trump's executive order was against the Constitution because you were putting into the facet of how SCOTUS interpreted the 14th Amendment years after it was ratified. So I said, yeah, it is. They said that this is what it's supposed to be. In a Supreme Court decision, he wrote an executive order trying to either go around it, overturn it, whatever. Yeah, that's against the Constitution. But this is why it's going up before SCOTUS again.
Okay, so I'm not going to lie. I ignored every single word that you just said because I wanted to finish my original statement. All right? Perfect. So anyways, to get back to what I was saying while I was texting my girlfriend asking for her to maybe bring me in some eye drops, that'd be very nice. So once again, you're attempting to hinge your position on this originalist argument, but even in consideration to originalism, it's really it's an uphill battle for you to argue that this wouldn't extend to the children born to undocumented immigrants because they did adjudicate that it would apply to immigrants. And then that was including undocumented immigrants, and that was clarified on by SCOTUS less than 40 years later. And, like I said, the founding fathers of the Constitution argued that it needed to be a living, breathing document. But, I mean, even in the sense, we don't need it to be a living, breathing document since this has been the status quo for the 14th for the last couple hundred years. Now, I actually want to ask you a question because every time you come up here, you want to talk about the Constitution, then you get fried, and then you get pissed. But I want to ask you a question that has nothing to do with the Constitution whatsoever. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Do you think any reasonable Democrat would stop supporting Biden as president if Biden were to call for the execution of his political opponents with no good reason?
Do I think anybody would support Joe Biden?
Any reasonable Democrat would stop supporting Biden if he made that statement?
Well, depending on what the statement that he was referring to was coming out. Now, if 6 Democrats would get on...
We lost you?
Legal and trying to just... gaslight the facet of blowing up the drug boats.
Can you answer my question?
Yeah, Michael. No, I think it would be fine if Joe Biden was in the same position as Donald Trump and
that's not what I asked you. I said, would any reasonable person stop supporting any president if that president, with no good reason, called for the execution of their political opponents in Congress?
Okay, if you wanted me to answer it to the facet of no good reason, then I would say, yeah, I think it's terrible if you ask for the execution of 6 congressmen for absolutely no good reason.
Perfect. So then you should stop supporting Trump as president because it is the case that he called for the execution of 7 Democrats in Congress without any good reason. They made a video saying, hey guys, if Trump happens to give you an illegal order, you don't need to follow it. And then you're just like, oh, that's sedition and treason. Die. You need to be executed. Okay. And then they even tried to indict Mark Kelly on particular charges, and the indictments failed. They didn't commit sedition. They didn't commit treason. In fact, they just repeated what the UCMJ already tells servicemen and women.
With the 6 or 7 Congress people that came out and went on TV and all did their little advert clip equaling one complete story right after the facet of everybody coming out on the left talking about how hitting the drug boats that were bringing drugs into our country was illegal attacks, and then
it was a war crime. Yes, it was a war crime. Yes.
Okay, so in your opinion, it was a war crime. My opinion, it's not.
But now you're thinking.
Now, when you listen.
No. By international standards, it was a war crime.
Oh, international standards, right. I got you. And the American standards, it wasn't a war crime, and that's where we live, in this country. Nobody charged Donald Trump with a war crime. He's not facing any war crimes. But then you get 6 Democrats that want to come up and insinuate that was a war crime, that was
Wait. They never said that. Okay, first and foremost, you're wrong, because they never said that. They never said that it was a war crime. They should have. I think that they should have. They would have been more patriotic if they did, and they would have had every right to call it a war crime in accordance with international law, because it was a war crime in accordance with international law. And that wouldn't have made it. What's that?
Really? So in other words, we have a...
Wait. What was that? You said something about it not being international law?
I said... in international law, the United States doesn't follow so much.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that we're not a part of the ICC. Is it descriptively true? Is it true that Donald Trump infringed on the ICC's articles when he double tapped that boat in the South Caribbean? Is it true or false?
As far as how they look at it and you look at it?
No. Oh my God. Your comprehension level is so fucking low. In accordance with the articles of the ICC, is it true that the double tap
I don't know what the
drug boat in South Caribbean would amount to a war crime? Okay. So then I can help educate you here.
Again,
so we're going to be looking back at the second. Okay, so you don't care what it is. Okay, well, you should care, because what he did amount to a war crime in accordance with the ICC. But I would like to clarify here that nowhere inside of that video did they ever mention the ICC. Nowhere inside of that video did they ever mention the double tap on the boat in the South Caribbean. Nowhere in that video did they ever mention any of that shit. You're just a brain dead fucking cult member who can't recognize your left from your right, and you're just hopping on board with saying, oh, we're justified in literally killing Democrats in Congress because they're like, hey guys, if you're a member of the military, remember the oath that you took to uphold the Constitution. You're fucking insane. You're a traitor to this country. You're anti-American to your core, and there's not one fucking bone in your spine that you ever have to stand on. You're no better than a sheep, a fucking herd of cows, because one day, no new wars. Celebrate this because Donald Trump is the president of peace. Next day, Donald Trump puts us into a new war in Iran. Oh, this is great because we need to liberate the people. And then when we start killing the people, including over 100 girls, exploding their oil refineries, releasing pollutants into the air, it's the middle of the day, it looks like midnight, and then all of a sudden oil starts raining from the skies. Oh, guess what? I'm just not going to really talk about that much anymore. Okay, one day it's like, oh, we need to support Trump because he's going to usher in the golden age of the American economy. The largest reason why people voted for Trump in the 2024 election was because of the economy. Now, a year and 2 months later, we have the worst economy we have in a long time, worst jobs report since 2003, most manufacturing bankruptcy since 2008, highest price of gas since the end of the Biden-Harris administration, so on and so forth. You just don't really talk about it. You don't really care. Then you're going to also say that you support Trump because he's better for the safety of the American people. But then when he supports the murder of American citizens, you don't say a fucking word. And in fact, you say it's justified. I don't know. You're just like a sheep, bro. And also for everybody curious insofar as why my eyes red, Momo, my cat, was in here hanging out with us for half the day, for 2 hours sitting on my lap. I'm super allergic to her, but I do love her. I accidentally touched my eye moments ago after petting her, so it's just allergies. But listen, my point here is that no, it is not justified in the slightest for Donald Trump to call for the execution of Democrats in Congress because they posted a video saying that members of our military need to remember their oath, and if Donald Trump gives them an illegal order, they don't have to follow it. Okay? You're saying, oh, well, it was justified because they were insinuating this or they were insinuating that. That's just speculation, my friend. You have no good reason to believe that they were speaking in reference / index to the war crimes in the South Caribbean. But even if they were speaking in reference to the war crimes in the South Caribbean, they want to change anything, it would still be unjustified because guess what? They've not been indicted on the basis of treason. They've not been indicted on the basis of sedition. They can't be indicted on the basis of either of those things because all they said was if Donald Trump gives you an illegal order, you don't have to follow it.
Are you done?
Oh, I have more to say, but I'll cut myself off there because I don't want to burn you too hard.
Everything you just rambled on, that whole entire thing, is one of the biggest anti-patriot, anti-USA. You do not stick up for this country in any way, shape, or form. You are against every single thing that this country has ever stood for. You are against every single aspect that this country does. You guys want to sit there and say, well, Iran, who has been a state sponsor of terror for 47 years, and you want to act like we weren't at war with Iran. Iran has killed more American people and service members than the United States even close into the Iran, including Donald Trump in his first term, who didn't do anything. Now in his second term, he's finally doing something. You people want to sit back and say, we want to wait. There was no imminent threat. You know what an imminent threat means? Imminent threat means it's going to happen. You want to sit here behind your little microphone and spout off, they did nothing wrong because we're going to wait until they have the capability. And then if Donald Trump was the president, and when they did have their capability and did have an imminent threat, you'd be screaming and yelling and didn't do anything. Now that bombs are going to be falling on the U.S. Coasts and bombing with nuclear weapons. But you don't want to sit there and say a president is a person that needs to protect his country. Not just sit there with words like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Don't. What are you going to say?
Yeah, another very stupid statement from a stupid man. Not only are you using this as a pivot away from Donald Trump calling for the execution of Democrats in Congress, because you know that you got fucking cooked, but even if we talk about Iran, I thought that Donald Trump destroyed all of their nuclear enrichment sites less than 3 months ago. Remember when he was posting and gloating everywhere all at once saying, oh, we completely destroyed their capabilities to create any and all nuclear weapons. And now even today, Donald Trump is saying that the war in Iran's almost complete. So are you saying that like in the course of the last 9 days, we have done something that will really prevent them from having nukes in the future that we didn't do 3 months ago? Oh, wait, but then when you also consider that Donald Trump is the one that pulled us out of the JCPOA and actually gave the green light to Iran to build nukes in the first place in his first term, what you're saying even becomes more insane. You're an anti-American pig. You stand on nothing, and you have the intelligence of my family dog. In fact, that might even be an insult to my family dog. You're not going to be able to convince me the same way you and all the other pigs were able to convince people 20 years ago that we're anti-American because we don't want to create baseless power vacuums in the Middle East that lead to civil war and the violent overthrow of other authoritarian regimes at the cost of hundreds of thousands of American lives. And in fact, if you're going to call me an anti-American pig for thinking this, I want you to say the same thing about Charlie Kirk because it's funny. I just quoted Charlie Kirk. He was wrong on 99% of shit, but I guess a broken clock is right twice a day. Charlie Kirk said, and I quote, that it is not worth it to do a regime change. It is not worth it to go into Iran. It's not worth it to go into Libya. Okay, because guess what? It always leads to violent civil war. It's never as easy as you think it is. It costs the lives of hundreds of thousands. I want you to say it right now. Charlie Kirk was an anti-American pig.
I would say I did not agree with Charlie Kirk.
Oh, but call him an anti-American pig the same way you called me an anti-American pig.
No, I'm sorry. You rattled off every single thing in the world. Which
no, say it. No. Why are you scared, bro? You said, Dean, you're an anti-American pig because you don't want fucking kids to die in the Middle East. No. Let's be clear. Let's be clear here, Chasey boy. You said you basically said I'm an anti-American pig because I don't want kids to die in the Middle East. Okay, I don't want like billions dead. Okay, I don't want like servicemen and women to like get fucking like blown up by an IUD after they get drafted because Donald Trump threw us in a war after promising no new wars. Okay, right? So now say it. Say that Charlie Kirk was an anti-American pig because, like I said, broken clocks are right twice a day, and that's actually something he was very right about. Say it. Say Charlie Kirk is an anti-American pig, you coward.
You are afraid to get drafted. I can disagree with certain subjects of somebody.
Wait. Of course I'm afraid to get drafted. When my great uncle got drafted into Vietnam and lost his life. Yes, clearly I'm afraid to get drafted.
Okay.
Is there an issue with that?
You're afraid to get drafted. That's what you're worried about.
Wait. That's not what I'm worried about insofar as this conversation. You're the one that brought that point up spontaneously with no good reason. I just affirmed that your fucking pivot point that you brought up with no good reason is true. Yes, I am scared and afraid to get drafted. Okay, because my great uncle got drafted in Vietnam and died. So is there any issue with me getting scared with getting drafted?
Your great uncle didn't get drafted because of Vietnam. There was a ongoing draft before, during, and just after Vietnam. So it had nothing to do with Vietnam that your uncle got drafted.
Shut the fuck up. He died in Vietnam, you idiot. You absolute fucking asshole. You are by far one of the stupidest people that's ever joined this live, and the last 4 years I've been hosting them on a daily fucking basis. Oh, your uncle that literally died in fucking Vietnam? Well, guess what? That had nothing to do with fucking Vietnam.
Well, that's not what I said. I said the draft had nothing to do with Vietnam. If the draft came back right...
the draft sent him to Vietnam. I definitely argue here that it has something to do with Vietnam. Bro, listen, continue to go ahead and continue to disrespect our soldiers. Disrespect my dead great uncle that died fighting for this country after being forced to go to Vietnam in a draft. I mean, it just really exposes you as the true anti-American, unpatriotic pig you are. And it makes sense because you supported domestic terrorists as president that tried to end this country's democracy on J6 and then gave full and complete presidential pardons to the 1,600 people that raided our Capitol, smeared their shit on the walls inside, flew the Confederate flag, tried to kill cops in the process. Remember the 164 people that he specifically pardoned, okay, that tried to kill cops like DJ Rodriguez, who drove a stun gun into Officer Fanon's neck, gave him a heart attack, and the only reason he's still alive today is because he was rushed off to the hospital. According to Donald Trump, that man is a patriot that deserves a full and complete pardon. Oh yeah, so I mean, I would definitely expect you to be telling me here that my great uncle who's drafted into Vietnam, then lost his life, one of the 500 missing in action, had nothing to do with Vietnam at all. You sound stupid, and I think that it's time for stupid people like you to stay as far away from politics as possible, and I'm very happy that the masses are starting to wake up. Donald Trump finally has an approval rating under 30% because we're going to ensure that your electorate power goes down, 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 down. Donald Trump could say, if you're a true American, take off your clothes and flash kids at a middle school tomorrow, and you'd be the first one on the front lines getting a charge. Donald Trump could say, if you're a true American, dig up the sewer lines and eat your own shit, and you'd be the first one getting a charge. There's no end, there's no extent to like this cult-like behavior. We talked about Donald Trump calling for the execution of Democrats in Congress. Oh, guess what? They deserved it. We could talk about Donald Trump sexually exploiting the naked bodies of women and girls at Miss Teen USA, Miss USA. Oh, guess what? It didn't really matter. It was normal for the time. We could talk about him raping E. Jean Carroll. You'll call her crazy. I mean, every single bad thing that he does, there's always an excuse. And that actually leads me to this question, because I got to know what your excuse is. I'm very curious here. What is your excuse for Donald Trump sexually exploiting the naked women and naked girls at Miss Teen USA and Miss USA and then saying it was funny?
I don't know what about. Are you talking about the Howard Stern?
Yeah, where it's like, oh, it was really funny when I'd abuse my position of power as the owner of the pageant to barge into the dressing rooms to look at their tits.
Right. I think it's crazy. Personally, why do you tell people that Donald Trump said to a 10-year-old girl, I'm going to date you in 10 years?
Because he did.
Because he did? Why you're not answering my question? So do you accept that Donald Trump sexually exploited women and girls, right?
I don't agree with the whole skit on the Howard Stern show, but he didn't say whatever it was.
You think it was a skit? Yeah, it was just a skit. Yeah.
But why do you say he said to a 10-year-old girl, I'm going to date you in 10 years? Because he didn't.
We'll talk about that in a moment. Yes. But first, do you agree that he sexually exploited naked women and naked girls at Miss Teen USA and Miss USA? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So you agree that it's sometimes okay to have violent sexual predators of children serve as president?
Well, he didn't say, there was nothing mentioned on that Howard Stern show about teenagers.
You literally just accepted less than 3 fucking picoseconds that he sexually exploited the naked women and girls at Miss Teen USA, Miss USA. What do you think it means when he sexually exploits naked girls at Miss Teen USA?
Again, I'm just being clear. It wasn't Miss Teen USA, but I understand.
Just to be clear, moments ago you said yes, it was Miss Teen USA. I clearly asked you if you accept that he sexually exploited the naked women and naked girls at Miss USA and Miss Teen USA, and you said yes, and I accept that.
If I heard you say teen, then I would have clarified. I agree. He shouldn't have done it no matter how old they are, but there was nothing said on the Howard Stern show about teens.
So then why do we have Murad Delgado and 3 other anonymous teens come out when asked about it, when he was running for president, say that he barged in and looked at them naked in corroboration of his own admittance of guilt? Not to mention, listen, no, I'm building a case here and I need you to listen. So in that clip, he didn't mention any specific pageant. He spoke generally about all of his pageants. Now, is it your position that he only did this to the women?
And it's all wrong. 100% all wrong.
Okay, so do you accept that he did this to the teens because he said that he generally did this at his pageants and we've had multiple teens say he did it to them?
Well, I never heard any of that, so I don't know. But if he did, it's wrong no matter whether they were teens or young women.
So assuming that he did do it to the teens at Miss Teen USA, would you still support him as president?
I am still supporting him as president.
Okay, so you actually would support a violent sexual predator of children as president?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I am still supporting him. Yes. 100%.
Okay, say that out loud. Say, I would support a violent sexual predator of children as president. Say it out loud.
No, I will say I'm a Donald Trump supporter, like everybody else who speaks on Your Live.
Oh wait, why are you such a coward? Why are you afraid to say it with your chest? Say it with your chest, big bro. Come on, don't be a coward.
I just did. I just said
You did.
I still support Donald Trump.
Oh, he's taking like me asking him to say I support a violent sexual predator of kids as president as me saying that you support Trump as president. So to clarify, you are calling Trump a violent sexual predator of kids, right?
Okay, so I'm a Trump supporter.
Wait, so to clarify, you are calling Trump a violent sexual predator of kids, right?
Say it again?
So to clarify, you are calling Donald Trump a violent sexual predator of kids, right?
No, I didn't say that. You said
Yes,
that.
you did say that because I asked you to say, can you say I would support a violent sexual predator of kids as president? And then you didn't say it. Then I was like, say it. Then you're like, oh, yes, I did say that. I said I support Trump as president. Meaning that you think the statement, I would support a violent sexual predator of kids as president, is identical to the statement, I support Trump as president. Therefore, you think that Donald Trump is a violent sexual predator of kids.
No, it's not. You see, you think you could do this bullshit to me? You're so wrong. You're twisting my.
You're the one that said you said it. You're the one that willingly. You're the one that willingly chose to say that you said it
with your mute button. That's it. You twist my words with your mute button.
Oh yeah, go ahead and whine and complain about something that doesn't fucking exist. You want to be oppressed so bad. You want to be the victim so fucking bad. I actually haven't used the mute button against you. You just want to be the oppressed little victim so bad because you know that you are the fucking oppressor, siding with the like modern day fascists, turning innocent men and women like Alex Preddy, Keith Porter, and Renee Good on top of millions of other immigrants, black and brown people, and women in this country, and real victims. Now, I want you to respond. No, don't pivot to Joe Biden. I want you to respond to exactly what I said. I asked you a very clear question. I asked you if Donald Trump did this to the little girls at Miss Teen USA, would you still support him as president? And you said yes. Then I asked you, and I still haven't got a response on this. So then I want you to say it out loud. Say, I would support a violent sexual predator of children as president.
I got a call. Say it again.
Oh my goodness.
Get that blocked.
Okay, once again, I asked you, if it was true that Donald Trump did sexually exploit the little girls at Miss Teen USA, would you still support him as president? You said yes. So then I asked you to say it with your chest. So what you're saying here is that you would support a violent sexual predator of children as president, right?
No, what I am saying is if Donald Trump, which I don't know whether he didn't, you're just wanting me to go with a hypothetical of saying it was proven that that's what he did and blah, 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 blah. To end this stupid questioning that you do all the time, like if a 9-year-old girl was pregnant, would you want her to have an abortion?
Given that hypothetical.
Okay. You make up these ridiculous things to say.
Stay pissed, bro. I understand. You're losing the debate. You're crashing out. I get it. So are you going to say that or not? Can you say that I would support a violent sexual predator of kids as president? Can you say that or can you not?
No, I would never say that.
Okay, so you wouldn't support Donald Trump as president if he did sexually exploit the girls in Miss Teen USA?
I am supporting Donald Trump.
Wait. Answer the question. Would you support Donald Trump as president if he did indeed sexually exploit the girls at Miss Teen USA, yes or no?
And got charged and everything else? No, not at all.
Okay, so if you knew for a fact that he had done that to the teens, that you'd stop supporting him. So what is the relevant difference between you knowing for a fact that he did this to the women and hypothetically knowing for a fact that he did this to the girls? That would lead to the conclusion that you're still going to... Wait, you don't know for a fact either way, but he admitted to it on his radio show. You just interpret that admittance of guilt as an admission of guilt to doing it to the women at Miss USA.
Way before he was running for presidency, these people go on these late night shows and say all these retarded things. You don't know what really happened.
Fucking STR. You fucking suck.
I don't know, man. I was grilling the fuck out of that guy.
Yeah.
He pissed me off. He just got the heat. One thing
that I wanted to mention earlier, like even his whole premise about like the draft and everything, there were peacetime drafts, but with peacetime drafts, people would go and they would become reserves. So even if the war wasn't in place, then your uncle would still be alive because he wouldn't have been deployed. The only reason he was deployed was because of the war. That made no sense. Literally no sense.
Yeah, for real. Listen, so many of you guys have been like so fucking kind over the course of the last like 20, 30 or so minutes on Venmo, PayPal, and YouTube Super Chat. I was just so locked in to utterly destroying that guy because he just pisses me off unlike any other. So I'm just going to take a moment to thank a couple people. And also, guys, yes, my eye is okay. I went over this earlier. I had Momo in the room with me for like 2 hours. She was sitting on my lap. I'm very allergic to my cat, although I do love her so much. And I touched my eye after touching her, and now I have a red eye, and I will probably have a red eye until the allergies flare down or I go get eye drops. Justin, I know that you came up last week saying that you're no longer a Trump supporter, but then I saw you in the comment section spamming W guess. So, like, clearly, have you changed your mind?
No, just some of the things. Like, I like you, I like Santana, and I like Parker. I like you guys. I like you a lot more than a lot of the streamers out there. I just don't like this idea that you guys are better than everybody else.
Okay. All right.
I just don't like that idea. Just because.
Wait, but Justin, who said that?
That's how you guys come across.
Well, that sounds like you're projecting that on us. Like none of us ever said we're better than anyone. But if you think that we're better than the guests, then W's you. But we've never said that.
And it's funny how you blocked me when I tried to add you as a friend again. I'm like blocked till you can go on your lives or anything like that.
Oh, it's probably one of my mods. I don't block people.
Oh, but one of the things I do want to talk about is, which I was trying to debate Parker for a while. Maybe you guys would want to debate this with me. Is like the train.
Moving on to the next guest, guys. Rolling up inside of the cube. You happen to be MAGA.
Fucking perfect timing. No.
All right. I'm going to start thanking a couple people here. First and foremost, FitDad CEO. This came in a while ago. I really hope that you're still here. Thank you so much for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. I really appreciate you. Let's get 500 FitDad W's down below in the comment section. Quote unquote, hey guys, without throwing in the genocide, racism, eugenics in World War II, what would make you think that Hitler's a Nazi? That's what this guy literally debates. I think that he sent that in earlier when that guy was like, hey, without mentioning SCOTUS, why is this a constitutional right? No, I think that's a perfect analogy. Perfect analogy, Fit Dad. Perfect analogy. I really, a 10 out of 10. And then, Full Band, I really appreciate you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Shout out to you, Full Band. Thank you. Let's get 200 Full Band W's. Welcome in. How old are you?
Oh, sorry. Hello, I'm 21, born in 2005.
Yeah, I don't believe you. I don't know. There's just like this certain way that like minors talk. It's just you speak in that way. I don't know. Does anybody else
straight when they like? It seems like they're. Yes, I'm 21. How to, I don't know.
I don't know. There's like there's like a certain like tone to the voice where I'm like, I don't know. I think you're lying. Mr. Joshua, goddamn brother, thank you so much for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for the love, Joshua. Joshua with the 50 says, just to give an update, Trump walked back his notion that the conflict in Iran is all over. An oppressor, he said that the U.S. has done is quote unquote not enough. Market will continue to tank and oil will continue to skyrocket. Fuck Donald Trump, bro, for real. Everybody is suffering the repercussions of this lawless nonsense. Thank you for the $50, Joshua. Show some love to Joshua down below. Clarissa, thank you for the $12 over on YouTube Super Chat. And then Meg, thank you for the 10. Appreciate you guys so much. Who says, my boyfriend's highly allergic to cats and I cannot recommend the Purina Pro dander reducing food. It helps my boyfriend's allergies a lot when my cat eats it. So Momo's actually eating that same food and you're right, it really does work. That's the reason why I'm able to like have her in my lap at all. I'm just that allergic to cats, unfortunately. Over on Venmo, Jenna, thank you for the $10, who says, looking at allergy shots to help desensitize you to cat allergens. It worked for a friend of mine. Ooh, I would love to do that. Thank you so much for the $10 and the great idea, Jenna. Danny, thank you for the $5. Jacob, thank you for the $10, who says, they don't even know that they're connected. Appreciate you for the $10, Jacob. Oh, man. Can we get one more on-stream Uncrustable moment before you start on your summertime abs? Oh man, Jacob, I don't do summertime ads. I'll be eating Uncrustables all the way into July. Thank you so much for the $10. Leah, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. Thank you so much, Leah. I really appreciate you so much. Leo with the 20 says, for the cat lover allergies, my partner's also allergic to her kitty, but loves her so much, so he just deals with it. Me too, Leah. On God. Based. Thank you for the $20. Jessica Danielle in purple, appreciate you so much for the 5. Jasmine, thank you so much for the $25. She says, update. My mother's an absolute coward and is scared to talk to you. She keeps denying the evidence I give to her. RIP. Oh, man, Jasmine, I was really looking forward to talk to your mom. Shout out to Ian. Thank you so much for the 25. Oh, my God. Dude, David, brother, oh my God, thank you so much for the $500 donation on Venmo. Jesus Christ, David. Bro. David with the $500 says, you deserve this since you daily attempt to wrap your logical brain around their illogical thought processes, thereby saving the rest of our collective brain cells. Dude, I don't even know what to say. That is too much money. That is
W's David.
Yeah, man. Holy shit, that is way too much money, man. Bro, you just like fucking... I've been telling y'all about how I'm taking all the money from the donos and spending them on my girlfriend's birthday later this month on the 22nd. You just fucking played for her flight ticket, David. That's huge. That is so kind of you. Thank you so much for the love, man. Dude, honestly, man, I want to see W's for David in the chat until we end on a very real level. I am so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for all of you guys, and I recognize the position of privilege that I am, and I'll never forget that, because I see other live streamers that'll like get like a $500 donation, and like they just don't even care. And it's always irked me and kind of put me off. Just know that I really do appreciate you, man. Show some massive love to the Goat David down below. Holy shit, man. Brooklyn, thank you for the $25 donation. Who says that last guy was so cocky and wrong. Quote unquote, your problem is that you hate being wrong. Couldn't even accept that he was wrong. Oh my goodness, he was insufferable. And then Trenton, I appreciate you for the $10 over on Venmo. We were all cut up, bro. Dude, continue to show love to David down below in that chat. That is so insane. All right.
I have 3 quick ones if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Emily, thank you so much for the 25. Yes, I love the team up as well. Bailey, thank you so much for the 5. I'm assuming that's the comments that Dean read out earlier about Trump reversing his comments. And also, DS, thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Dude. Fire. Okay, I think I just have a couple more people to thank on PayPal, then we're good to go. Caroline, thank you so much for the $5 over on PayPal. I've not heard about the turkey incidents. Yvette, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal. She says, thank you for what you do. I've been here every day since November. I'm 53 and you're a breath of fresh air. Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Yvette. I'm so happy that you find something positive in these streams. Shout out to you. Shout out to y'all. Angelica, thank you for the $5. Linda, thank you for the $10 for Wet Wipes Fund so you could wipe your hands after petting Momo. Yo, so real. I need to get some fucking wet wipes. Thank you for the $10. And we're all cut up. Yvette's donation actually just made me remember something. Yvette said that she's been watching every day since last November. Last night, I was in the grocery store. If you remember, I hopped off my stream in a little bit of trouble because I promised to make my girlfriend dinner and instead asked her if she wanted to go get super fries. So anyways, I got off the live and I just automatically went to the grocery store. I kind of like balled out for International Women's Day. I mean, big deal, you know. Dude, got steaks, got like some shitty rosé. We love that. We fucking love shitty rosé. Even like a little like mini cake for dessert and like some crackers and some cheese, you know? Like, I don't know. I love my girlfriend. International Women's Day. It matters. But while I was like, holy shit though. Yeah. But anyways, while I was shopping, I went alone. Oh, and I got her some flowers. I'm all over the place. While I was shopping alone, somebody stopped me and they were like, hey, could you like please talk to like my sister or my cousin? I forget exactly the relationship. I told them that I saw you in the store and they like were freaking out because they love you. And then I was like, you know what? Sure. Why not? They called them, FaceTime them. I talked to them for a moment and they're like, oh my goodness, I watch you every single day. I think that you're awesome. And I thought that was a pretty cool experience. I think that there's a lot of people that really do tune into these streams on a very frequent basis. Regardless if it's just background noise while you're doing work, chores, so on and so forth. I really appreciate and love every single one of you. Go ahead, Santana.
I'll say this really quick. I don't understand how you or Parker do it because, like, when I was with you guys and, like, the way that people notice you, it freaks me out. Like, I have no idea how you guys do it. It's a lot.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. I actually would like to add some comments onto that, but I'll do that in a moment. Southern Rock Fest, do you support Trump? No, they're not even here. It was just worth knowing if I needed to kick them or not. I agree. It was kind of like something to get used to, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Right? Like, I've always been like a little bit more of like a private, socially awkward person. Yeah, like surprisingly. And I guess when like I really started to get like more attention in the mainstream, like it was kind of hard for me to like navigate talking to people that would recognize me because, like I said, I'm a more socially awkward person. Like, I don't really know like what to say and how to like converse with people too well, which is like so like opposite of what we do on the live stream. So I know like that's gonna shock the hell out of y'all.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's and you know, after like a couple of years and like, you know, really getting used to it and whatnot, it's really helped like my in-person like conversational skills.
I love you, Dean. You're my king, Dean. I love you.
Okay.
I love you.
Goodbye, Emma. Back to what I was, dude. Back to what I was saying. And now I'm just kind of like used to it, you know. Like when I see somebody in public and they approach me, like I'm just like, you know, okay, like I like it. I like meeting people that appreciate what I do, especially in the small little Republican town I live in.
I did not mean to go live. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna ban you, Kat. I'm just kidding. You're all good.
Oh, I'll just say, like, you know how I feel about that, and just as long as you're being safe, because holy shit.
Yeah, we did have that one weird interaction in Texas. Huh?
It was really weird.
Yeah, remind me here.
The guy spotted you because we were standing outside, and he was like, "Hey, are you Dean? Are you Dean Withers?" And then, like, you automatically got ready to start walking towards him. I had to grab you, like, whoa. And he was like, can I get a picture? And it's like, sure. And then, like, the guy got the picture, and then he camped out in the parking lot, just, like, sitting there waiting for us to come out of the restaurant. It was the whole weird shit. And he was just, like, waiting and wouldn't leave.
Well, we were there for, like, hours. And he was, like, still just waiting
and he was
outside.
just sitting in the car just waiting. It was the weirdest shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a little strange, man.
That's what I said. Like, you just gotta be careful. I don't know. I don't see how you guys do it. I would be.
We're gonna go to get that next and last guest loaded up into the stream. That was weird. Hi, do you support that?
Oh my God, Dean, I love you. I love you.
Dude. Let's try to keep the cue to MAGA.
People love you when they like see you in person, but it's just always those one-off weirdos.
Yeah, I really don't have too many weird experiences. Yeah. Every so often, like, I'll have like the hater come up to me and like say some rude shit, but they always just run away. I really pissed some guy off in the airport.
Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry.
No worries. I actually have a funny story about that. I was coming home from LA and some asshole came up to me in the airport. It looked like a little frat bro from Boulder, if I'm gonna be honest. It's a Denver airport, so it makes sense. It's like, hey, are you that guy who does politics? I'm like, yeah. It's like, oh, bro, you're fucking weird, dude. You're crazy. You're insane. I'm pretty sure he said some, you know, shit. Probably a little bit more rude than that, too. And in response, I was like, no, I get it. It's totally what I would say if I had a small penis, too. And he got so...
You recognize the shit out of people all the time.
He started. I could tell like he was about to swing at me in the airport, which clearly he didn't do because I don't think there'd be a worse place to swing at someone.
Yeah.
But he was so pissed. Hi. He was screaming. He was actually. It was crazy. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 26, almost.
Are you American?
No, that's why I'm Iranian, and I wanted to tell you you're a bit wrong about a couple of things about Middle East and all the things going on with Iran. I'm trying to come up here for 3 days and telling you that.
Are you in Iran?
Things are not. I was in Iran till 3 weeks ago, and I was during the protests, and then I came to Italy I'm here for getting my master's. So I was in the protests. I was in the 12-day war with Israel, and now my family and all of my friends are in Iran.
Yeah, what's their take? I'm just curious.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Can you go again?
Yeah, what are they saying?
Okay, that's it. They cut off the internet for 10 days. And before that, the last thing I heard from my father was, oh, they finally hit them. And he was so happy. Okay, so my family live in Alborz, Karaj. It's near Tehran, which is under fire right now, actually. And a couple of my friends also live there. One of them have access to Starlink. And the last thing he told me was the jets are too close to us. Like I can see them from the rooftop. They literally have no defense, actually. So the thing that I wanted to tell you is, first thing that you're wrong was about the school that was hit. And I'm sorry for my English, because it's actually my third language. So you are wrong about the elementary school. It wasn't hit by Israel or America. The IRGC posted news on their channel that it was their own missile. They are evidence, they are pictures of a missile failing.
Okay. Yeah, so the belief in which you just shared has been debunked. So first and foremost, the image of the picture of the missile failing was A, from hours later, and B, 1,300 kilometers away from the girls' elementary school that was struck in southern Iran. That's already been debunked. So already we know that the claim that you're making is false. So how do I know that the claim that I'm making that it was a U.S. strike is true? Well, I mean, this was, begun on like reasonable speculation surrounding the fact that the elementary school was hit at the same time as, the supreme leader of the Ayatollah's compound. And it wasn't until around 3 to 4 hours later that Iran finally responded by firing some ballistic missiles back at Israel. So seemingly it would clearly be an American/Israeli missile. But we've actually since got confirmation from Congress because, of course, the Trump administration gave a briefing to Congress about the strikes that they carried out on the night of Friday, 10 days ago at this point in time, and they admitted to making strikes in the immediate vicinity of the girls' elementary school. And since then, there's been independent reports conducted by multiple agencies that have concluded that was an American strike. So in consideration of the fact that the evidence you provided for the claim that that was a strike from an Iranian missile has been debunked, and the evidence I've provided for the claim that that was a strike from an American missile has great circumstantial evidence and has since been independently confirmed and confirmed by Congress themselves. Like, clearly in this situation, I'd be right and you'd be wrong.
And also, just an FYI, less than an hour ago, the New York Times just did an update talking about the confirmation as the U.S. Tomahawk missile that hit the school. And the coverage that they're using is saying that there was a naval base that was near it that they were trying to strike. And they're trying to say that, the school was just close enough. But, I mean, you see the video footage of, like, the school that's on fire and everything.
Yes, I saw the news.
But it was definitely one of the United States. It was definitely one of the United States Tomahawk missiles. That it's been completely confirmed.
Okay. First of all, there are controversies through the news coming out from Iran because I don't know if you have access to the national channel. They are literally threatening people right now that if you come out to the street, we are going to shoot you directly. I can send you evidence if you want because it was on national TV, so I have concrete evidence for this one. Also,
wait, can we admit that you were wrong on the previous statement though? Like,
yes,
it seems like you're moving.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to argue. They are Telegram channels from IRGC that are actually spreading the news that we hit that elementary school. They are active right now on Telegram. So I do accept because it is possible for.
I don't know. I don't know if I trust you because I don't think that you're actually in that Telegram channel. Can I tell you why?
On that Telegram channel? Which
because you claim that the IRGC admitted to bombing the girls' elementary school on that Telegram channel, but that was
they admitted it.
Yeah, that was a fake doctored screenshot posted on Twitter. You can find a fact check by going on Google, typing in PolitiFact. "Quote unquote," the regime in Iran has now confessed.
Wait a minute. Nobody that
IRGC mistakenly bombed an Iranian school yesterday.
Okay, nobody that disagrees with IRGC joins the channel because you're giving up your literally identity to them. So I should state this first.
Okay, I just want to clarify that your reference of this Telegram. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So that's actually fair. You did just admit to not actually being in the channel, and then you gave really good reason for
I'm
not
in the channel. No, I'm not.
Good, and I'm happy that you're not, because you would be giving your identity to them. So that's actually really good that you're not on the channel. So now we know that you're like not coming from a place of like malintent, of like I don't think that you're intentionally spreading this information. But still, yet what you're saying here is false.
My source is my friend. I told you he was connected like from Tehran, and with the Starlink.
Okay.
So he told me that.
Then your friend, then maybe your friend saw it on X.
Maybe, yeah, it is possible. I mean, I don't have any evidence on that, but what I do have evidence for is IRGC members residing inside of elementary schools. They are having meetings in elementary schools. There are pictures, there are videos. You can't deny this.
Listen. I mean, is this not what we hear from Israel?
No,
listen. I think that this is what we hear from Israel, like all the time, about how they're totally justified in like bombing the girls' elementary schools in Palestine because the Hamas members are hiding under the tables, right? And it kind of sounds like you're using the exact same human body shield logic as it would relate to the U.S. taking out.
Please let me speak?
As it would relate to the U.S. taking out a girls' elementary school in Iran. Like, this is just like an extension of the pro-U.S. imperialist view that we've already heard coming from people in America and Israel. I'm just surprised that I'm hearing this now from an Iranian.
Dude, come on. I'm Persian. We know that Donald Trump is not helping us or anything out of goodwill, and he wants something. And come on, we all know that. And also, you should know that I was in the streets on 8th and 9th of January. I saw human brains on the streets, on the sidewalks. You can't deny this.
I can't deny that. Let me clarify. I don't think I've said this. The IRGC fucking sucks. They're terrible. Exactly. They're terrible. They're terrible. They're terrible.
Wait a minute. So what we asked for was R2P. Okay, what we asked for was R2P. We need a powerful country to back us up. Sorry.
Listen, I agree. I think that there needs to be powerful countries to back the people of Iran, but I don't think that backing the people of Iran. Damn, I gotta kick you. Do you see? Look at your phone screen.
Oh yeah, I saw it, but I don't know why.
I know. She got a ban for misinfo, so I gotta remove her. But what was I gonna say there? I agree that powerful countries need to back the people of Iran, but backing the people of Iran doesn't mean taking out their leadership, bombing their oil depots, causing massive pollutants, killing children, lighting the streets on fire, and then claiming everything is all done and that we have victory and that we're gonna pull ourselves out now. All right, like that's not helping the people of Iran. Just, dude, go ask anyone from Iraq or Afghanistan over the age of like 30. If us taking out Saddam Hussein was back of the people of Iraq and Afghanistan, they'd say hell to the no. But chat, she got a ban for misinformation. Like 2 people in the chat were saying, why do you kick her? Misinformation. She got a ban for misinformation from TikTok.
With that last, holy shit. Okay.
Come back.
All right. Yeah.
And Zatanna just did too. Am I next? I might be next. I think I know the claim that is leading to that ban. It has to do with the elementary school. Even though it's been confirmed by Congress, New York Times, CNN, multiple independent agencies. They don't let you say it. They don't let you fucking say it. Yeah, that's like actually censorship. It is.
Like, to your point, it's been confirmed. So I won't say what I was going to say about the other claim, but I'll just say that there's like a lot of everything that I'm finding right now. There's a lot of uncertainty around if that's actually what's happening with the second claim that she made. So
someone in the comment section is saying that CNN is the communist news network. Are they in the queue? Dude, did somebody made an AI PFP of me kissing the wall? What are we doing?
Wow.
What is this shit? Explain yourself. I guess they're not going to. All right, guys, it is nearly 5 p.m. I am going to get off because I have a girlfriend to hug and some food to cook, and some outdoors to be explored. This is my first time getting off live in a long time with it where it's still light outside, so I'm actually really excited for that. I'm really, really excited for that.
I'm actually heading to a town hall, so it's gonna be my first one in a while. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get some content as well, so that'll be fun.
Well, good luck on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Really quick, Sable, thank you for the 10, and Cassie, thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate you. I appreciate you as well, bro.
Of course, man. You have a good rest of your day.
See ya.
There's like a couple people I want to thank here. Then we're going to go ahead and end. Let's see here. Patsy, this just came in. Thank you so much for the $30 donation on Venmo. Miss Patsy, good to see you. Thank you so much. Patsy with a 30 says, love what you do, Dean. Keep up the good work. You do make a difference. Patsy, as always, it is great to see you. Love having you here. Damaris, thank you for the $10 for giving you the best background noise while I do 5 hours of laundry. Damn, man, 5 hours? Holy shit. And then Aubrey, thank you for the $5 on Venmo, who says, that was me who called you in the store. There's no way they're watching. Yo, the person who tuned in from the store is actually on the live. Man, that's great. That's so awesome. I mean, I was told that you watch the lives every day. You told me that, and you were not fucking lying. That's great. 10 out of 10. Austin, thank you for the $5. Who says, hey Dean, if the military drafts, please look up what fragging is. Will do. Melissa, thank you for the $21. Who says, if you like some shitty rosé, here's a donation towards some sangria. Supplies for you and your girlfriend. Is sangria really shitty rosé though? I know that sangria is like a wine base. I guess I just don't really think about sangria as like a wine, even though it's a wine base. And I don't think that the base is rosé. I don't know. I love sangria. I took a week vacation to Puerto Rico, and the whole time I was just drunk as hell off of sangria. God damn it, I miss it. And then Lena, thank you for the $7 as well over on PayPal. For everybody in the comment section saying put VODs on Spotify, we upload episodes. Maybe I'll start uploading like the full VODs. That's a good idea. But all right, folks, I'm gonna go to an end for the night. Before we do, actually, let me just give a call to Parker. Let me just give a call. Let me get a very accurate update of when he's going to be live. Oh, look at my eye's not too red anymore. Based. Yo. Hey, man, I'm hopping off my stream. I just wanted to call so you could tell everybody when you think you're going to be live.
Oh, you're hopping off already?
Yeah, I'm at 4 hours.
I mean, I get, damn, I thought you were going to hop at 4 hours. You're in 1 hour. My math was horrible today. I can hop on right now, honestly.
Dude, bet. Yeah, just shoot me a text when you're on. I'll hang out with the chat until you're on.
Yeah, I'll be on in like 5 minutes.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll see you, bro.
See ya. All right, chat, I guess that we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A until he hops on. I'm not going to lie. I really need to go pee, so I'm actually going to take like 30 seconds to go pee. But if you want to stick around and just hang out, do a little bit of a Q&A. Don't leave. Okay, I'm back. Hello. Parker will be on super duper soon. Until then, folks, we're just going to hang out and do a little bit of a Q&A. Everybody in the chat is spamming Momo. I'm not going to lie. I am not going to go grab Momo. She's really cute. But my allergies just calmed down for the first time. and hours because I was petting her a whole lot earlier. So unfortunately, I want to let my allergies subside. All right, guys. Opinion on communism, says somebody in the chat. I mean, I'm not a communist. I'm a social democrat. I'm sympathetic to a lot of values espoused by socialists and communists, but I just ultimately think that there is a model of social democracy in which would work in the better interest of the people compared to socialism or communism. There's a lot of socialists and communists that hate me because of that too. So many. Opinion on grifting. Grifting is great. We love grifting over here. I just grift all day long. Grift, right? Love it. Somebody else in the comment section says DC. No, not really. Not anymore. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen the edits. I used to see the edits, but not too much anymore. I feel like the edits, yeah, they're not as frequent. Okay. Opinion on UK politics. I don't keep up to date with UK politics at all. I just exhaust so many of my mental resources on keeping up with American politics that there's just like no room for UK politics up there. Now you guys are asking for opinion on Lily Tino. I can't support Lily, man. You know, like, I won't say that her heart is in the wrong place all the time, but I can't do it, bro. I can't do it, man. I just think that she's so regressive to the public opinion on the trans community in so many ways. And I think that needs to be addressed and understood even by people on the left. Because we need to know like where our like goals should be oriented, insofar as like advocating for the broader acceptance and inclusion of everybody, including trans people. And it, like, just to be honest, man, like when you have a trans woman cutting into a hot dog at Disney, talking like a teacher would speak to 3-year-olds, and then like going into the woman's restroom and taking a picture in the mirror with like kids in the background, right? Like, those are just like, you are just like fulfilling like the deluded wet dream of the bigoted conservatives, you know, like you're just being everything that they want you to. But like, I will say here, like, I don't think that her heart is in the wrong place all the time. I just personally think that there is harm that's created there. Opinions on Momo for president. She'd do great. Better than Trump. And folks, with @Parker's live, he told me 5 minutes. Damn, he meant it. You should go rate @Parker Get a Job on TikTok, @Parker Get a Job on YouTube. He's going to be doing debates for the next 4 to 7 hours. I love and appreciate you all. Make sure to hit that follow button on your way out on TikTok. Drop us up on YouTube. And Angelina, thank you for the very last donation of the stream with a 14 Canadian dollars on YouTube. Peace and love. Good night and goodbye.